The sun is setting in Tukwila, Washington. The lights are on and the field is looking beautiful. It's the Seattle Sounders FC2 versus Portland Timbers 2. We are at Starfire Stadium and excited about the big match tonight, a Cascadia rivalry here in Western Washington. My name is Gregor. I'm joined by John Manley. Good evening.
Good evening, Greg.
This is exciting.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, right? This is great to be here at Starfire Stadium and to hang out for such an awesome match. We've seen a great couple starts here for the Seattle Sounders FC2, S2 as we call them, versus T2 tonight takes things to the next level with the second phase of a Cascadia rivalry. Last week against Vancouver Whitecaps, this week now our neighbors to the south. Now, I really don't know how we got here. Why are we here, John?
Your guess is as good as mine. The Sounders actually, in all actuality, were gracious enough and nice enough, and some may say crazy enough,
right,
to let two local DJs, we work at 107.7 The End, who are huge Sounders fans, and they happened to find this out through listening to us and decided that, hey, if anybody can do this, these two should. I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, the interesting part is that we have the ability to connect with the community, and that's what the S2 is set out to do, is connect local people in our community to help spread the word of the team and get it to the biggest audience possible. And that's great. All around the USL, we find this happening, too, with great support across the Cascadia teams and down through teams like Sacramento Republic and beyond. It's an exciting time to be part of U.S. soccer as well. The atmosphere is incredible with so many games and so much constant excitement going on.
And you walk into a stadium like this and you walk past kids playing U13s and U12s as you're walking in to see the future of American soccer.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful complex, and it's such an exciting time to be a part of this. You're absolutely right.
And all different types of fields and different levels of play that are happening that culminate all the way to the Sounders, the first team practicing here at Starfire and the facilities here, but then to S2 tonight taking on a team like Portland. It's an exciting time to be part of U.S. soccer.
Absolutely.
And the USL has really figured this out at the right time, a development league hoping to get kids going. Now,
Correct.
For tonight, what are some of our keys to the match, John?
Well, I think pronunciation is important. Pacing is good.
That's going to be a tough one.
And, staying composed as we go through this.
Well, I don't know about that. I think maybe the defense should work on the composure
Oh,
today.
You're talking about S2?
Yes, perhaps it would
great.
be for the
I'm
actual
so
soccer
sorry.
teams.
Okay. Let me composure.
Okay.
All right. No, I think the main thing, because both of these teams are very high scoring, I think defense is going to be very important.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're looking at our back four. Portland likes to play outside in. They run the wings and they push to the middle. And I think we have a great chance because our center mid is awesome.
Specifically, a guy like Nick Miele, who's 6'4", but he's a big guy. He's a tall guy. He's not huge, but he's out there. But the footwork he can do. We were here for practice yesterday, and we saw Nick Miele able to get it done by with not just holding it down in the middle, but also being able to do things with his feet that he maybe won't get burned by some of these
Which is
guys.
important because Portland likes to press, so the quicker the defense moves the ball, the better opportunities we're going to have to catch them on the counter.
Absolutely. So, and then the same thing for them, though. We have a couple guys
Correct.
that are real good, and they're going to have to try and stop people like Darwin Jones and Pablo Rossi from doing that. Also, the pace of the game is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, like we were just referring to, Portland really likes to push the tempo, which is interesting because for the most part this year, so have we.
Yeah.
We've spent a lot of time on the opposition's field, side of the field, which obviously is what you want to do.
Right.
But Portland is a different animal. We haven't seen this yet where, again, as soon as it's going to be a lot of 1-2 touch. You're not going to have as much time on the ball as we might be used to these first couple of games. So I think if you can dictate the middle of the field and we have the people to do that, I think we'll find joy. There's happiness in there if we can control the tempo, maybe slow the game down a little bit and find some gaps.
I think our guys in defense are going to have to really maintain, and they have an option. They can either try to maintain it and slow the pace down, or they can try and push the line a little bit and try and create some opportunities. There are some dangers that we've seen with Portland too pushing a line a little bit, where it exposes a little extra space back behind.
Sure, it'll be real interesting to see how that plays out. I think that's one of the big storylines of the game is our tempo, are we going to sit back and play counter, or are we going to force them back and try to suffocate them? That's going to be really interesting to see, and I think we should get a good eye of that pretty early in the match to see what's going to happen, or if we switch as we go.
Regardless, I think we're going to have some guys out there that are going to really keep a straight head and be real cool Keiths out there.
Real cool. Yeah, I think that's very important because, again, the more pressure that gets put on you, that also means the more opportunities you're going to have to counter. So if you can control that and be calm and move that ball and switch sides of the field, there's a lot of action there that can be had.
It does help when your coach, Ezra Hendrickson, is a guy that can show his his resume, that he's shown over the years. He's played in some pretty serious, won some MLS Cups. He's got 3 of those. He's been a Defender of the Year before. A guy that is holding down the back line. He told us that he had this, that he could handle the defense and that he would let the guys up front do their thing.
Well, as any good head coach of any sport will tell you, it starts in the back.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's the defensive line, and especially today, again, they're going to push. So our defense is going to be very active on the ball. They're going to have to move. They're going to have to find Craven. They're going to have to get to the middle. They're going to go look for Rossi. Maybe a deep ball to Darwin Jones on a quick counter.
So that's one of the things that you can look forward to, I think, is that there have been no shortage of goals for either squad in the first few matches. Portland with a hand in game are at the top of the table right now. But with 8 goals themselves, S2 has really done a phenomenal job.
4 goals a game, 2 games in a row. Darwin Jones last week, a hat trick.
And he's leading the league. He's Darwin Jones is a star for us. It's going to see some minutes with the first team. But here at S2, he's leading the league in goals, but he shares that honor with a Portland player also by the name of Carlton Belmar. He's a guy that we're going to have to look out for as well on the field as we see goal opportunities created, because both of those guys are names that are not to be messed with.
Correct. For as well as we've been, for as good as we've been up front, we also have to worry about them as well, which will be interesting to see who gets the most opportunities.
A couple other gentlemen for the Sounders FC2 that we should watch out for are Pablo Rossi. In practice yesterday, they couldn't stop talking about how the guy, when he's not even trying, does incredible things, and he's got a big future in front of him because of his footwork and skills. He's a guy that we keep our eyes on as he produces things from nothing sometimes.
Correct. Yeah, he's the young Argentinian, and he's so good with the ball. He's one of those guys that as soon as he touches the ball, you perk up. You get up in your seat, you lean a little bit forward, and you start looking real close at him.
And now we honor our country and cut to Trisha Gray. She's going to be singing the national anthem this evening.
She performs our national anthem.
In celebratory fashion, cheering on Trisha Gray, and a wonderful performance of the national anthem. A nice job too, and it's fun to see some Girl Scouts out there helping.
ECS already in full throat, which is great. It's a Cascadia match. It's intense. It's already happening as the players get ready to take the field. I mean, there is an electricity in this stadium right now, and that's transferring to the booth. I think this is awesome, right?
I'm ready for the green and blue smoke to start this thing off.
Yeah, right.
Come with a matchup like this. It's it's exciting to see the fans get so excited about the teams coming out already, and just after a couple matches for the teams to already have delivered. So let's take a look at who's playing today for the Portland Timbers 2 T2. In goal, Jake Gleason. The defenders, Andy Toma, Harrison Delbridge, Anthony Manning, and Taylor Pay. In midfield, Nick Beasler. He graduated from Notre Dame, won a national championship there. Tim Payne, Blair Gavin, Fatau Safiu, Carlton Belmar, and Rundell Winchester are the two forwards.
And for your S2 starting 11, they're going to run a 4-5-1 today. Goalkeeper Charlie Lyon. Our back line, Aaron Long, Andres Correa, Jimmy Ockford, and Nick Miele. Our midfield, Amadou Sanyang, Giuliano Frano, Andy Craven, Duncan McCormick, and Pablo Rossi. Up front will be Darwin Jones, your league leader in goals.
When we spoke to Ezra, the head coach of the team yesterday, he was saying that the defense needs to hold up. He couldn't promise us 4 more goals in this game because no one would be able to give that kind of a promise. But we were definitely egging them on to try and see if we can't get some more offensive production today.
And now that you've jinxed them, Greg.
He's the one that saved it from the jinx, though, because
This is
he's
true.
the one
Yeah,
that
he
said,
mentioned it
we're going to worry
himself,
about the defense, and hopefully we'll be able to keep things tidy back there. So
I think these first 5 minutes are going to be real important, and I think just as much for us as it is for this team. But, with this kind of an atmosphere and this kind of action, nerves and tensions will run high off the jump.
Tell me about it.
I know, right? Control the ball, slow down, let the game happen for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Here we are right in front of us. The scarves are up because at the beginning of any home Sounders match, you will always hear scarves up. The Timbers wearing their red jerseys today, as you can see, and they're taking the opening kickoff, it looks like, today, versus Sounders huddling up here before we get rolling to start the full 90 minutes of action out here, plus maybe a few extras.
I'm ready. This is great.
Starfire Field looks beautiful. The clouds are lit up a wonderful hue of pink. We're going to have a few more minutes of daylight here before it starts getting real chilly for these guys. So far, the rain has stayed away, but perhaps I've just jinxed that as well.
Well, it was stormy earlier, a typical Seattle day, I guess. A couple hours of rain, a couple hours of sun, a couple hours of rain. Looks like we're back in sunshine territory.
It's perfect soccer weather here in the Pacific Northwest, something that both of these teams can deal with. Carlton Belmar is over the first kick of the match, and we're underway here at Starfire Field. It's exciting to get going with the Sounders taking the possession in the second half. Already a long ball down the middle, and Charlie Lyon easily collects it. There probably some nerves out there getting see if you can't make something happen. Take advantage of some space
take
right
some
out of
time.
the gate.
Let's maybe take a couple quick shots, but let's slow down. Let's see what's going on. I think that might have been a test shot too to see as far. We'll see where that line's going to play. Look at they're high right now.
They've already started high.
Yeah, so let's see. It already looks like that's the plan for Portland, and that's where you have to be careful is down those wings.
Aaron Long passes it back. A little bit of a missed kick there from Charlie Lyon. Almost on top of the roof of the facility. That's all right, clearing the ball.
Greg, does that count for a home run? I don't know the rules here.
Oh, and then a long ball there for a goal kick now. It's exciting to see how once the game settles in exactly where we'll find some of these guys playing. As we see Andy Craven kind of coming down here on the right, I wonder if he'll be able to go out wide here and create a little potential. It looks like the
Well, it's
T2
interesting.
is bunching up a little bit here in the match.
It's interesting that when we talked to Ezra yesterday, Coach Ezra, he had talked about, we kind of had asked him about formations and strategy, and he mentioned, I thought it was interesting, he said it's more of a 4-6. It's not really a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1.
Absolutely.
It's more of a 4-6. It's 4 guys in the back staying together in a true defensive fashion, and then 6 guys kind of working off each other through the middle, and that'll be really cool to see how that goes. Little chippy there.
Yeah, a little chippy from the Timbers on the Sounders after throwing from Correa. Another one here, another opportunity to reset and get the ball moving forward here into the T2 half.
Got to keep the wings tight. That's going to definitely be the biggest factor here. You can already see them bunching up.
You can already see near side here, there's a bunch of space for Andy Craven in that long ponytail of his, number 99, hanging out nearest us. And he's a real threat. He had a goal in the last game off of a header as we get the throw in from Correa again. Correa, a Colombian international that's playing with T2 right now. While there's a big battle up at the top team for the left back position, getting some minutes for Correa down here, which is kind of the design of this league in itself, to get some of these guys more playing time and then kind of intermix back and forth. We have a bunch of guys from T2 that are up in the main squad this week, headed to LA for the Galaxy match tomorrow.
And Greg, how incredible is it that we have this now in America? You know, I feel like for the last 10 years, we've all been saying in 10 years.
Yeah, well, that happened.
It's 10 years is here. You don't have, think of a guy like Nick Miele.
Yeah.
maybe he ends up, what's his options after school? Maybe it's to Finland,
Yeah.
second or third division. You're away from home. You're young. You're lost. Instead, it's stay in America, work for a team that you have potential to move into the first team. You could be seeing MLS action in your very first season, you know, or second or third, or however, quickly progress through the system. And I think that also bodes well for American soccer, where you have homegrown players staying in America, learning systems, and maybe we get something going here, you know, nationwide.
Taylor Pay here with a throw-in after a kick out to the stands here. I was surprised that we didn't see more Timbers T2 supporters out in the stand. Darwin Jones goes after a wild ball there, trying to make something happen at the front. The press is on a little bit here, it looks like, from S2.
I think we look real good to start here. It would be nice to, let's get on the ball a little bit. A little miscommunication there.
I think the nerves ride a little high in a game like this.
Well, I think Correa has definitely been, he's certainly focused on defending at this point, because he immediately started bopping back, and then he probably had an opportunity to sneak up and grab that.
Well,
didn't even bother. He's like,
we
no,
talked about
I'm staying
at wide.
back.
Yeah,
right.
at wide, we don't want to have any breaks there. As we see right now down the left-hand side, across to the center. No one there, though. Oh, but he comes in and was able to muscle out of the way.
Clear.
T2 with an opportunity, but easily
There we
handled
go.
by the Sounders. And Pablo Rossi, a guy who's dynamite on the ball now.
There you go.
Coming across a little bit hard, and no call from the ref. It looks like a throw in here for the T2 on the far side.
It'll be interesting how he handles. So that's a fairly big midfield that they have. It'll be interesting to see. Rossi's kind of a small guy. It'll be interesting to see how well he fights through the physicality.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
You're right. There's a lot of room over here.
There's
for,
plenty of room.
Craven.
It's only now that they're picking up on it a little bit. You get a little link-up play here between Long and Craven. As Craven makes a run in to try and get in and create something here. He goes up for the header. Isn't quite up for it. Rossi now on the ball to Craven. He gets a little even break there.
Handball.
Handball. Looks like the Sounders will have an opportunity here to create something from just outside the box, which is a position you want to be in, especially for a guy to take a free kick and create something up front with someone like Darwin Jones, who had such a great time with it last week.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, because as you look at the handball
Look at
here.
that. He gets real lucky there with an extra kick and off his hand. I think we would have had an offside anyway from Darwin Jones, but that's a real big break there for the
Hey, we'll take it. It'll be
S2.
interesting as far as speaking of taking it. Who takes the free kick? We heard earlier this week in practice, Giuliano Frano, and it looks like he is on the ball. Really impressed with his left foot.
Yeah.
A cultured left foot, as some might say.
Left foot. He impressed the coach. He hadn't been taking free kicks, but Ezra Hendrickson just caught him messing around, just taking some shots and some kicks, and he was
This
like, "Oh,
is a
this
great
guy's got a
opportunity.
great left
This
foot."
is a
There we
great
go.
opportunity.
Looks like Rossi will have it.
Oh,
And,
great
just wide of the
shot.
goal.
Great shot.
An excellent effort, though, keeping everyone guessing with two different people going up for a...
Well, that's great, because Frano has to keep you honest, because you have to defend for a cross if he's lined up on the ball and he's a lefty. So it'll be an in-swinging cross at that point, which is dangerous as is. And if you can run Rossi behind him, that's incredible.
Jake Gleason here to take the goal kick for T2 in the now 7th minute of this match here at Starfire Stadium in Tukwila, Washington.
Do they have a Cascadia Cup for the USL?
It's a bowl.
Okay.
Another opportunity, a little miscontrol there on the left side from Duncan McCormick. Up from Correa.
There we go. Settle down. There
Rossi.
we go. Overlap. A little too much.
A little too much on that one. That's fine, though. Some good ideas starting to form. T2, when they get cooking here, will be something to be reckoned with as well.
We're seeing a lot on this right side, far side of the field. It'll be interesting to see who's going to be the first team to switch to the near side.
And try and take advantage of a guy like Andy Craven over here on playing on his right, or Fatau Sifu.
I mean, any chance you have to get Craven in a 1v1 situation is a very appealing scenario for S2.
My apologies to Safu. As we play down, immediately down the right for S2. A touch by Craven. He's got to pass a little bit.
There you go.
Oh, and Rossi just isn't able to keep it in. Just over the line, but a nice big boot on it with some bend to that.
Have a go from 40 yards out. Why not?
All right,
Portland, where they can't play with two balls.
Andy Tillman now taking the throw in on the near side here for Timbers T2. Back to Toma. An extra touch. Broken up in the back here. That's Nick Miele right there that got that broken up, and now an
There we go.
opportunity, a little extra. Will he play the advantage or will he bring it back?
Get a foul call?
That is a free kick there after the foul on Aaron Long on the near side here for S2.
I like what we're doing now. We're starting to move quicker.
Blair Gavin having a word there with the referee. Here we are with another free kick opportunity. This time, again, it looks like Pablo Rossi is going to line up over the ball.
And this is certainly one of his strengths, is dead ball scenarios. He should be one to watch this entire match.
I'm looking to see if I see Miele up there. There he is. He's up there. You got such a tall guy like that, a big back line. You want those guys in there. Here's an opportunity on the cross. Oh, exciting, but just cleared. Saves the day there. We'll end up with a corner kick on the far side.
This will be an interesting situation, too, because Portland is pretty good on set pieces as well, as are we. Bringing our big guys from the back to come in and try to get in there. See if we can't find Miele on this one.
Yeah, exactly. Put a head on that, some height. They worked a lot in practice on Friday on the corner kick, specifically did S2. This is a chance to put it into practice here. Ezra Henderson's a big guy himself, scored a decent number of goals in situations just like this, so you got to think that he's got a idea of how to get this done. On the near post, it was cleared and brought back in. There's another opportunity.
Get that. Oh.
Hit extra hard by Jimmy Ockford.
Off the post. Come on.
They call him Jimmy Blockford, but that time he was able to get a big foot on that. He got a lot of time to look at that and put his right foot through it. Just sat back a little bit there and put a little too much on it, got it going up high too much.
That's a great rip, though.
You love to see that, those chances, and a little breakdown in defense there by T2. Something that S2 would hope to exploit here in the game at some point.
Yeah, when you leave the back door open, you got to take advantage of it. And boy, we're what, an inch away from doing just that.
Along now, a goal kick gets things moving down the line for T2. A throw in goes the way of T2 now.
S2.
Excuse me,
yeah.
S2, thank you. An opportunity now here to get something going again down on this far side. Seems like there is a lot of opportunity on the near side. At some point, someone's going to find a way to exploit that.
Well, Greg, one thing I've picked up over the last couple of games is Craven has been really good at these, for lack of a better term, diagonal through balls, getting on the back. He doesn't make many straight ahead up in north and south runs. It's more northwest, northeast type, and it's real tricky because if you can get on the back end of a defender and he's not, it just takes 1 second for a defender to lose a guy, and that's all that Craven's needed.
Oh, what a
to this
move!
point.
Correa gets the defender to jump. Gets
there
the
it
far
is.
Side. Aaron just can't wrap his foot around it in time. Again, another opportunity on the near side for S2 to be able to send the ball across and try and take advantage.
Just like I was saying, diagonal from far side. Just like I said, from the far side into the back post. That is where I think we're going to find a lot of joy, and we've come close now twice here.
Another goal kick here for Jake Leeson to bring T2 back to the S2 half of the field. A chilly night at Starfire Stadium. These guys running around won't be feeling it, though, at this point. They're already nice.
No, the blood's
nice
flowing.
Hey,
if I'm not feeling it at this point, and I'm just standing here with adrenaline, these guys are running with it. They're going to be fine.
The fans are the ones that are the ones that really have to put up with this, but singing and jumping and chanting as they are, and the supporter section, including ECS, is exciting out here today.
ECS always such a great. We sit right next to them during Sounders first team matches, and boy, talk about lending itself to an atmosphere. Again, this is developmental team S2, and you would have no idea looking at this crowd. This is amazing. It's so much fun. They're into it, coming into the box
Fatale
here.
taking it to the center here, trying to get a piece on it. It's stopped by the S2 defense. Andy Craven thrown off his balance there. Foul called.
I will take that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if there's much in it, but.
Again, though, on the near side, T2 was able to create something going down the field. It seems to be that there's a bit of a channel that they're now starting to understand and expose, which will then, in turn, likely open up the opposite side.
Which is what I'm saying when you go from, if we can switch the field, and not just vertically switch, but diagonal switch.
Sure.
Get it on a through ball.
Darwin Jones is going up for the header there to try to create things. Duncan McCormick gets around Duncan McCormick.
A little too easy there, but that's all right.
Correa in on defense. Here comes the cross.
Trouble. Too much on it.
Fatale could not get there. Out of bounds for a S2 throw. Aaron Long takes his time. little encouragement there in central defense from Nick Miele. Rossi, who's appearing with a translator, Argentinian.
I don't think they allow the translator on the field, Greg.
Just chasing him around, you don't think?
I don't think so.
I mean, if he's in good enough shape.
I haven't checked the rules.
Suit him up. T2 now with a big boot across the field, trying to move things. And then Fatal could not get onto it at the end there. A thumbs up, though. It's a good idea to try and cross-play. Both teams kind of taking advantage of this thing that you keep talking about, where you're moving it across there. It's not as intricate on the small passing in this game yet. It's just a lot of big opportunities down.
Yeah, I'd like to see us with a little bit more possession.
Worked off the field there.
Easy. There we go.
Fatal tried to create something. Correa was in defense to be able to clear it out. Now you see Duncan McCormick, nicknamed Captain Crunch. I don't know where he gets that, but I've heard it in the last 2 matches that he's played in.
Yeah, we're going to have to research that at the half and see what's going on there.
Hopefully it involves breakfast cereal.
I would have gone with Golden Grams personally if I was to get a cereal nickname, but that's just me.
I never knew that about you. Oh, a little missed touch there from Aaron Long will result.
Hey, Greg, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead and ask me a question.
Have you visited USLsoccer.com yet?
I have not.
You can get the latest news and live stats and check out their new social media hub at USLsoccer.com.
You read that like a real professional.
That's what I do, Greg.
Yeah, that's nice. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, a real hard contact there, but all ball. Rossi is pushed off of it, and it results in an S2 throw. Aaron Long comes over to handle that.
He's so smart. It seems like every time he's got the ball, he's got a purpose. He's got a reason what he wants to do.
All right, so
Rossi
we have
back with the ball.
Immediately turning around, T2 back in possession, trying to bring it down here. Going to bring it back, though, and try and reset. Pressure from Darwin Jones coming across there. A big boot again over the top.
Hold him off, should be fine.
Nicely done. A great response from Charlie Lyon coming out to collect the ball after a big shoulder there.
Got his first shutout last week. First professional shutout.
Yeah, Rand, that's got to be a huge milestone in someone's career.
Absolutely. And you know what that does? That proves that he knows he belongs now.
And Griffin gets on the ball here on the right side, creating opportunities. Amadou out to Duncan McCormick. There's no reason that he has that name. Evidently, he's just been given it by the team. He must have a fascination with that. These guys, a lot of them live together.
Sure.
And a whistle on the ball.
That's an unfortunate foul right there.
Rossi making things difficult for the free kick to get started again, as they will until someone tells them to back off.
Shame about that foul because I think Frano was getting ready to get that big boot going.
There's been some chipping going on in the ear of referee Chapalo Street from both sides now after a couple calls that haven't been agreed upon. Soccer players don't tend to agree with a lot of the calls.
That's a job that I don't even understand why people sign up for it.
I think it's so you can contain some of these guys and show who's the boss.
Yeah, I guess, but...
A throw in now going to S2's way. Correa on the left side, he's playing left back today. Up to Duncan McCormick. Coming across the field, Aaron Long. Back center being hollered at. Amadou, he's a real engine in the midfield there, John.
Yeah, I think I would like to see us get a little bit more possession, get him on the ball, because I think he's kind of one of the unsung heroes of this team at this point. You know, it's early on, where you have, he's not showing up the stat sheet.
That's where you know it's an international quality there. He plays for the Colombian national team. Correa, after that effort, can't get it done after a ball hit just a little too far. Great ideas, though, happening with some of that passing that you want to see to get the defenses really working on.
And if you looked at that play, Sanyang cleared that space. He cleared that area, took a defender with him, and allowed for so much space for Correa to just go right through there.
These are the types of things you expect to see from some of these young guys that are trying to make their way into the first team, and a great opportunity to do that with coaches often here.
Sure.
Ziggy's been here for the first couple matches, obviously away this game. He's going to be traveling to LA Galaxy for the first team.
Well, I think maybe now is a good time to give a special congratulations to one Siggy Schmidt, because he just got nominated or accepted into the Soccer Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame. Ziggy Schmidt is he's the winningest coach in U.S. Soccer, and he's been accepted or invited to the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame alongside Casey Keller, a longtime Sounders goalkeeper when they first rejoined when they first joined MLS here recently. In the last now it's the 7th season.
Siggy Schmidt, the winningest coach in MLS history. He's got
a couple MLS Cups,
couple Supporter Shields, and what I think is really incredible is he's got a CONCACAF Champions League Cup.
Yeah, with LA back in 2000, a team that Coach Ezra Hendrickson played on, which is
is that the only American team to have ever done that? I don't know.
You're really putting the stats people to work here right now, John.
Greg, we don't have any stats.
Cross-field play just could not be handled by, but I always get his name wrong. I apologize, but Fatau. He's eager, man. You
can't
leave him
hear
alone.
you. It's okay.
Okay. You leave that guy alone for too long, and he's going to be one of the dudes that burns you. Right there, another mistouch from Darwin Jones going the opposite.
He's off to a real good start here.
Oh, what a great extra touch. Amadou makes something happen. A feed to Rossi there on a quick touch. He's going to slow things down. Smarter head prevails.
It's like Stanyan picked up a little bit of a nick there.
Correa coming down the left. No real pressure on him. He's got all day here to try and make something happen. No one really shut him down. It leaves an opportunity. A little bit better pass there, and you have Craven on the end of it out
It's a good thought, though. It's a good thought, though.
The game's really opening up a little bit here. Something that we expected was it to go end-to-end a little bit. Maybe not end-to-end yet, but there's a lot of midfield battle going on.
Well, it's starting to come our way a little bit more now. We're starting to play on our side of the field. We're slowing it down. Nerves have subsided. We're almost to the 20th minute. This is where, okay, we've settled in, and now we're ready to go here.
Sometimes I wonder if the fans get so excited about the Cascadia rivalries, if that pushes the players to have a little extra nerves.
I mean, you would think so. It's a rivalry match, and they know that too. I don't know on this level being it's an inaugural team, so it's kind of almost a faux rivalry where you're being told this is your rival, and you don't know that for sure. You haven't played them yet. You haven't developed any bad blood. But at the same time, you're right. Full stadium.
Okay, we got
loud
a great
supporters.
crowd on hand today. We got a full standing section down in the supporter groups. The ECS is in full, and I imagine some of the other supporters are here as well. ECS just carries the biggest banner right now, but Eastside supporters and
correct
guys along the 4 or 5 there all get a Gorilla FC. All have people that come out to these matches and try and cheer these guys on. It must be an electric environment for them. Obviously, it's probably an overused idea, but at the same time, you hear from Nick Mealy yesterday on the website, and there he's talking about how that even gets them excited still. They haven't done this before. This is the first time. I imagine for T2, when they come into a situation like this, that having that extra pressure from these guys yelling and banging means that maybe it drives it up. The pressure's not on them so much to stay in it. It's us. We have to protect our own turf.
Nice
they
save,
can just come and bring it in.
Correct.
A great save from Charlie Lyon to keep things going here in the 20th
Plus, if
minute.
If cross that touch line, I'm not going to yell about it too loud, but that was close. We'll take it.
Duncan McCormick with a touch keeps it alive here in the middle.
There you go. Slow it down.
This is one of the things that we talked about. Would the Sounders try and push a high line and make opportunities happen right away and jam them up, or would they play a little smarter and a little slower and try and keep the pace of the game going in there?
Well, it certainly seems that we're playing the high line. We're not trying to catch them on counters, which I'm okay with because I think we can win that possession battle. And I also always prefer to play on your front foot as opposed to playing defense. Dictate the pace. And Ezra had said that, Coach Ezra had said that yesterday when you talked to him as well, that we asked him, do you game plan for an opponent or do you game plan for yourself? And he said that it's like 70-30.
Yeah.
You game plan for yourself, and then you take note of what the other team does, and if you see some holes in their game,
foul there against Pablo Rossi after a throw in from Correa. He's down and still clutching what looks like the back of his ankle.
But he took a kick in the ankle bone. That's gotta hurt.
I hear a lot of times people are like, get up. People get kicked like that.
Sure.
You try getting kicked in the ankle. I don't care if what the circumstances are.
Yeah, that's bone. Here's the kick here. Let's see where he gets it.
Comes in with studs up. That's a dangerous thing right there. You could easily see a card for that type of a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down wide, Andy Craven's going to get a foot on that. He's got his ponytail flying, tries to kick it back in with the back heel. He's able to win himself a corner. That's some extra hustle and a little ingenuity there to be able to keep the ball alive after just a little too much pepper on that one.
Great job just to maintain possession and have strength and keep that in.
Also, shout out to Pepper back at the station.
There you go. Hey, Pepper. We miss you.
Here we go for a corner kick now. It's number 55. Pablo Rossi going to take this one. Get some of the tall guys up front. Leave Correa way back here. He's got some speed. He can handle some defense. You're hoping to find Nick Miele or one of the...
there he is.
Goes up. Just a little too much on it, and now going out to the far side for a throw-in. Looks like Pay will come over and take this. Taylor Pay. Defender for the Timbers 2, T2. There are a plethora of Terminator jokes to be made. I'm sure that the fans in Portland are furious about that.
I'm resisting all my urges.
Those urges will be back.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Miele now just with an easy pass back to Charlie
Oh,
Lyon. Another scuff
missed
for
it.
Lyon, a little bit of a slice.
At least it's a throw-in.
Interesting that they will have a throw in here from T2.
That's a bad throw. Or a
John,
bad
rumor
kick.
has it that the fans are making a T2 themed scarf for this, so we're not the only ones. And so shout out to Portland for being on the same page.
Yeah,
as
I
us.
think you go all the way and make a T2 Tifa. That's what I would do. Come on, go all the way. But as long as they don't actually make a Terminator, I think we're going to be okay.
Well, the future is anything's possible.
That would be bad. I mean, Skynet is supposed to go active any day now, right?
I think it was
according
like
to the
10 years
movie.
ago, but it was absolutely. Coming off the bench today, John Connor. I'm sorry to all the T2 fans. That's not fair, but all
You
right.
did it to yourselves, kind of.
We're in the 24th minute now. I wonder if when they first heard that, if they were like, "Oh, come on now." I'm sure they've heard this from every away game so far.
Of course.
Those jerks down in Salt Lake City did this too, you jerks.
You bet. This is such a big week for Sounders soccer of all levels with Siggy and
Left a foot on it and was not deemed a foul. Over
Hustle.
the top. It's just not enough there.
with
You're
Siggy going into the Hall of Fame and Casey Keller also going to the Hall of Fame. And I think people forget how important Casey Keller's been.
I mean, he's played pretty much every
1,000
club
games
in Europe. I think.
Yes,
he played at.
and like 500 U.S. national caps. It's amazing.
500?
I mean, I'm exaggerating.
Okay,
I
I
want
was
to say
gonna
more like but it's around 100. I
It's
believe
in
it's
the
like a
hundreds,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
over 100.
That's great, man, for a guy like that to then also be
102.
100. Nailed
Off
it.
the top of my head.
Nicely. I mean, you said 500, but yes, close.
Well, I mean, give or take, you know.
But it is exciting for U.S. Soccer, a guy who came back and played with the Sounders on the first team. Here we go. Big kick up to Darwin Jones. Recovered now by Frano.
Nice control.
Frano holding it off. That's good hold-up play. Amadou gets.
Call that, you bet.
That's a big obstruction, and he is not happy about it. Nick
Now we're
Beasler.
starting to make things happen now. We're starting to knock on the door in the final third of the field. A lot of things are happening. They're making a lot of fouls to get us out there. If you look at the collision here.
Look at this brilliant hold-up play, letting things happen, and then I mean it's like running into a pylon. A moving one at that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Beasler's got a ton of experience though, and he's played for some really good teams coming out of college from Notre Dame. Had a really big experience there, going on to a 2013 national championship, NCAA national championship.
Rossi again on the kick here.
Rossi over it. A big boot, just a little short. You love to see over the top.
Sure, have a crack.
Jake Gleason easily contains that and brings it out as he lets the teams clear. He's going to go big with a throw. A touch from a mistouch from Rondell Winchester there. Back in the S2 defense. A little too much on that one. Just.
You know, Greg, we're talking about how great of a week it's been for Sounders soccer. I think we should think of, you know, it's funny when two of your own go into the Hall of Fame, and the biggest news for Sounders fans this week happened earlier today. The debut.
Oh, you got to talk about
Of
taking
DeAndre Yedlin.
Yeah, taking an opportunity to get a young guy. There's a good Fatau on the ball here. Toma. Back out wide. This is where they dominate. They have all their goals are scored from that exact position except for one this season, all right in front of the 6-yard box. T2 creating another opportunity on a corner kick here, though.
And again, they go wide and then flutter one in. And it's the interesting thing is they don't. It's not so much crosses into the middle. It's these low through balls, and you know that's kind of tricky thing to cover. I would almost say just get a boot on it. You know, don't try to stop possession. Just get rid of it. You know.
Even if you have quick feet like a guy like
Correct.
Miele,
Just
get it out, clear it out like we did there.
There you go.
You
Like
see an
so.
opportunity now for Darwin Jones to cause a little bit of trouble. No one's back. Gets his foot on
Stays
it.
in.
Maybe a little bit on the player too.
Oh.
And then a missed touch. as
Just
it goes
behind
around
him, Craven.
Toma.
That was trouble. That was trouble.
Andy Craven with a little word there as they come by.
Good idea, though. Good thought.
Amadou.
Good composure.
Amadou again. Correa. Couldn't get there for Rossi. McCormick gets a touch on it.
Yeah, so DeAndre Yedlin made his debut for Tottenham Hotspur today, which is that's a big deal.
So I think that no matter which team you root for, whenever you hear that a guy that was
Sure.
that came up in America makes a debut for a Premier League team like that in England. That's big news. There's a couple different leagues that you want to hear your guys making it into, but when you're talking about a top half of the table team like Tottenham, and you get an opportunity to see one of your guys make it to that level, that's exciting stuff. He looked great out there. I think percentage-wise, he actually was the best passer on the day. Granted, he was only out there for 15 minutes and change.
And made 5 passes, but still.
I mean, some beautiful stuff, though, and it shows the quality of coming through a system like this and being able to take it to that level. He's a real special talent. Andy Craven on the ball, out wide now to Aaron Long. Aaron Long takes a swing at it. Can't get it past the first man, though. Aaron Long's back, though, hustling to win that ball back after that. Fatau
has been, so far to this point, probably T2's. Oh, mistake there.
And Darwin Jones cannot capitalize on it, though, but that's got to put your heart in your throat if you're the goalkeeper. Jake Gleason
couldn't get his feet
was on top of that. He immediately saw what happened and got it. We'll see another look here.
Terrible pass
there.
I mean, that was a great through ball.
And luckily Gleason was was there for T2 to be able to take
it. Just a little too heavy on the touch, or we'd have had Darwin Jones top of the league.
That's what we're looking for.
Standing alone.
Ideally, we will have a new goal champion at the end of this matchup, so we can clear that up.
Also, wouldn't mind having a new leader in the clubhouse as far as the table goes.
Absolutely. So the Timbers have 1 game in hand right now. They've played 1 midweek, which means there might be some tired legs out there today as well.
Yeah, they're up 1 point, so a win puts us top. I believe we're tied with Arizona right now for second place. Is that right?
That's correct. It's a tie in second place for Arizona, both with a game in hand. Both S2 and Arizona have a game in hand right now. The third game already played. T2 has actually already played the Real Monarchs twice now, home and away, and they were only able to take a draw in the last match here.
Getting treatment off on the field there.
It looks like it's Carlton Belmar. That's a concern if your leading goal scorer goes off. It looks like he's going to be okay and be allowed to come back in right away. The referee immediately, Chapalo Street waves him back on. That is a goal opportunity, and he puts it in the back of the net. That is exactly what you want to see from a free kick if you are T2.
Yeah, set piece, quick fired in there at Harrison. Delbridge, I believe, is on the goal.
That'll be a momentum changer right away. Immediately you hear the fans at Starfire Stadium immediately start chanting to try and get the spirits lifted right back in the S2.
I mean, it was almost just a dead spot in the game, if for anything, It was
sometimes those little spots are what can really change the whole thing.
It's like one guy's not quite ready to get the ball going. You're looking around waiting to see what's going on, and the next thing you know, there's a ball in the back of the net.
I'll have to check my stats here, but I think this is the first time that S2 has been down in a match this season. Just 2 games in, though, as well, so that's all right. It'll be interesting to see how they can react in this situation.
Yeah, first real taste of opposition here.
First real sting for us, too. It's nothing new for T2 to be taking a lead early on as well.
Yeah, we'll see if we can battle back. Let's test the fortitude of this team. Let's get one back right here. How about that?
It's indeed the first time that the S2 has gone down a goal in either the any of the 3. With an opportunity there, Andy Craven. That's exactly what you're looking for in response in those first 3 critical minutes after something happens. That's when a lot of these things end up developing. We'll take another look here and see a long ball here. Craven gets up. Look at that.
You almost wish he would have let that go to Aaron Long on the backside of the back end of that net.
But what a bit of skill. That's the type of intuition you want to see from a guy with that spinning head, trying to get that maybe a little ponytail action in there to try and whip that thing out.
There's kind of storylines developing with our players early in the season. We're for the most part, I think all of us are still waiting to see what we have here, and we've been all pleasantly surprised, obviously, with 8 goals in 2 games. But who is Pablo Rossi? We're still learning that as we go. We're 2 games in.
I don't speak Spanish, so I can't figure it out.
Correct. But you're starting to see things from players. I think we've noticed through 2 games, Craven's the tricky one. He finds himself space. He always seems to get himself open, put himself in the right place at the right time.
He's supposed to be playing out wide here on the right, and you just keep seeing him over and over in the middle. And he feels, to me, naturally to be a kind of a guy that should be able to know. What a great ball to Aaron Long. Aaron Long out wide, puts the brakes on, takes one to the knee, it looks like. He is down, and it looks painful.
Yeah, he got clipped pretty good there. Might have left it out a little bit for him to get swept, but he is looking...
The referee calls on some... Here we go. Let's take another look as the medical staff comes on. Look at that. He hits
He's
the
gonna get him
brakes.
right there.
Oh, and he gets a
stepped
knee
right
to
on
the
the
knee.
top
It
of the
looks
foot.
like- oh, was
Looks
it
like
also
he
that?
stepped right on the top of
Oh,
his
man,
foot.
I
That
also saw a
hurts.
little knee on knee action there, I think. Oh, that is going to be a minute down on the ground here. Hopefully he'll be able to walk this one off. He looks like he's already getting up.
Yeah, that hurts, man.
If that
Right
was
on the top
Toma
of the
that
foot.
got him, he was quick to leave the scene. It's one of those things where you want to go blend in with the other players for a minute.
Yeah,
and
I'm
see if
going to
you
be
can.
nice and make sure everybody's okay, and then I'm going to hide, run far away.
It didn't look like there was much malicious intent there. It looks like he was.
No, just got him right at the top of the foot. I mean, these things happen.
He almost got beaten there. Is kind of what happened, though. It's a good bit of skill from Aaron Long.
But you get a cleat on the toe or something. That
Those
hurts.
boots are not thick. That is not a. You step on my foot right now in my chucks, and I'm going to be upset with you. So
We'll see how you behave during the half, and we'll try to keep it clean.
Rossi over the ball. A big opportunity here.
Let's get one back here. It's a great opportunity to get one back, tie this thing back up, bring things level.
The 34th minute here. Arm in the air. Rossi with the big boot. Can't get it past the first man there in the proper defense. A big clearance. Almost takes out a security staff member. Is she okay? She gets a
trainers are
standing
out.
applause.
She's all right.
Some high fives coming in off camera here. That's one of the hazards of having your back to the game the whole time as that comes down. A throw in there from Aaron Long, can't find its mark.
Signing again.
Yeah, what
Chippy there,
what
getting a push off the
awareness
ball.
there. What awareness though, he was able to turn and find a way to get it out. You got to be
just seems
worried
to
when
be
he
a
starts
little
turning on the burners
unsure.
here, Rundell, when he can, when Winchester starts making a move like that. There was a little exposed space. Luckily, they were able to close it down.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Portland. You know, their strategy is to run the wings, and so far the wings have been favorable to them. We've done a good job keeping it, closing them out. But there is run of play on those wings for Portland. They have the advantage outside. We've looked great in the middle when we've been able to get it there. I wish we could maybe connect a couple more passes instead of 2 shots or 2 passes and then firing it across.
You know what's interesting is that we haven't seen a tremendous amount of S2 coming down to the corners like we have with D2. Obviously the strategies are different to try and get the ball through the middle to a guy like Darwin Jones or to a guy like Andy Craven in the 6-yard box or so and try and make trouble there, as opposed to this taking it down to the edge as they're doing right now. As you see Winchester coming down the side, trying to keep that in, a big push on there, and he's able to keep it in, keep the T2 player from getting contact there.
Is that Ockford out there? That was good defense, just holding him off, making sure that ball rolls out of bounds.
Good job, Jimmy. Charlie Lyon now to take a step back and take a goal kick here from the center of his goal. I feel like you go to one side usually, but
yeah,
I'll take it.
How long does it take, do you think, for a goalkeeper to get over giving up that goal? I mean,
it didn't look like he had a whole lot that he could have done about that, so it's probably a lot easier for him. There's probably going to be some pretty firm words from Coach Ezra Hendrickson as the ball comes over the top. Charlie Lyon able to contain, no problem. I think he's actually, the challenge for him is he's had a couple shanked slices on some easy kicks, and that maybe is where he could make up a little bit of confidence back from something like this as he takes a throw on the ball. Craven with a header, gets another head on it. Rossi, so smart to be aware there. Darwin Jones with the pull there on the defender. Anthony Manning gets a tug. Here it is out wide to Darwin Jones with a touch to burn around the defender. He comes to bring it back in, and it's an easy one for Jake Gleason. That's exactly the thing we were just talking about.
Yeah, good thought. Catch them on one.
And as they start to get comfortable, as either team gets comfortable with the style, to go back and immediately try and change it up. As we enter the 37th minute now, Starfire Stadium, Sounders S2 versus Timbers 2. A good Cascadia rivalry here between the two teams. Last week it was S2 versus Vancouver. A 4-0 result.
And a great game. Darwin Jones just
anytime you can add hat trick and take that game ball home with you from the day, that's got to be a great way to both make your own confidence go up, but also to make the coaches in the top team pay attention to you.
Yeah, this works both ways. Like it's a great move it's a great thing for him because he's going to get the attention by the top team. So you're playing for yourself. You also help your team win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder sometimes, obviously anytime you're playing in a competition, the goal here is to win. But I wonder if it's not to try and more to get some of these guys to tune them up a little bit. As we come down the right side here on a break, nothing
Good
like
defense.
the big, strong wall of Correa to put a stop to that motion.
I thought he's looked real good up to this point.
Absolutely.
And they've put the pressure on him the majority of this match that's been down that side.
Frano's been hustling, too. It's a name we haven't
yeah.
called enough of, but he's been really working in the midfield real hard. Here it is into the middle. You can't get it past Long, though. He's on it. Maybe a little too optimistic there from Rossi. Look at this, down the side here, Toma. He takes an extra touch or two. I bet you some teammates will be disappointed in that.
Amazing
Takes it
how,
out
it's
real
amazing how
wide.
the strategy of a team, you know this going in, and at the same time, you can't, up to this point, you've held them without the goal, but it's there, you know?
Blair Gavin now down to Andy Toma.
Great take.
Great place. Or great play.
Let that roll out for us. There you go.
The wind, look at it hustling through that flag right now. A real strong wind out there, and that's got to contribute somewhat as the flag takes a dive. Someone give it a yellow card.
Yeah, there it goes. Clear flop. Clear flop. There's no one even around it.
To watch the capo for the singing
sloppy
section
play
there in his short sleeve shirt. He's a brave man because it is cold out there and getting colder for these guys. The sun has gone down now. You're only heated by the lights and your own blood flowing through your body.
Great temperature for soccer, though, if you're playing it.
Absolutely. This is kind of where you can be warm. Now, when you come off the field, though, you got to find a way to stay warm because when you come back on, this is going to be a challenge.
You know, maybe some team mons and knit some blankets or something.
After the orange slices.
Sure, right.
Exciting stuff here down the left side, trying to make something happen. S2 hasn't had it's been a few minutes now where they've been
since
coming
the
down
goal,
a little
since
bit, a
the
little
goal,
momentum.
Portland has really started to exert their will on them on S2 to this point. It looks like we're kind of settling into that counter attack approach, which we'll see if that bears fruit. I mean, at this point, you can't run that high line because it's been getting beat down the side, so you got to pull back. So I think now you start to look for counter attack opportunities. I'd hate to say quick counters. I'd love to see a little bit more, possession of the ball, especially because we have so many guys up front that can do that. Get it to Sanyang and then have him pick out Rossi.
There we go. A great touch from Miele there. Out to Craven. Up front, a little too much on it from Rossi. He couldn't turn around. It was on his backside. He wasn't able to spin it
So there's
around.
a great opportunity there. You're in a ton of space. Craven has all the space in the world. Take your time, take a second, control the ball, see what you got. It doesn't have to be that fast. You have time on the ball. Take advantage of that. Let's set up a play.
I didn't specifically see, but I didn't also catch any communication from anybody. That might be a good time to talk to your player and let him know that he's got an extra minute.
Right.
Now we're way up here in the booth. They're way down there.
Yeah, easy for us to say.
Here comes Craven. He's going to keep that one in play. Extra hustle from him. Ponytail flying. Through the middle to Rossi, a guy who can do amazing things. Out to Long.
Here you go. Now take some time.
Back in the center to Frano, and then it's a little rushed, and so it doesn't come through, and now you leave yourself an opportunity. Still some pretty good coverage, and Frano again hustling to get there and make the play happen.
A little miscommunication again in the mid there between Frano and Sanyang.
Oxford's got his back, though, as long as that back four stays strong, and Correa can bring it up the left side here. Still an opportunity. Again through the middle, he's beating guys out there. Just one too many touches, though, and T2 takes control. Out wide.
And out of play.
Belmar must be itching to get his foot on that ball and try and do something with it to increase his goal scoring. He's been so hot this year at it, and he's got a brace in the game, and he's looking to add to his total, but he really hasn't gotten the opportunities yet.
Yeah, he's yet to really put his mark on this game, and hey, if you're S2, you're fine with that. That sounds great. Let's keep him as quiet as humanly possible. The question is, how long will that last? And he's a quality player.
Yeah, you can only contain him for so long unless he gets super frustrated, but he's the one
they just miss him with the ball right there. I mean, he's still dangerous. You still got to keep your eye on him.
We've seen him across the way on the right a lot, where Fatau has been over here on the left playing a little bit. Maybe a little switch now.
Yeah, you're right. It looks as now that Belmar is going to come to the top.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Fatau was right here in front of us. That was my mistake. He's still playing out left, but maybe they're bringing both of them out over here. Clearance from the goal scorer, Delbridge. Sanyang, a casual clearance there.
There it is.
There it is. Andy Craven with a little space to run into. He's got a guy tugging on his left shoulder there. Oh, with some footwork that gets him around.
Fancy. Finish this now.
He's got support coming from Aaron Long. Oh, and a dummy there.
Plenty of space.
Frano. Tipped wide.
Oh, just cleared enough.
Now we got an opportunity here for T2 if they can either hold it up or many guys in motion. S2 has a chance to cover, though. Here's Rondell Winchester.
Stop him there.
What a play on defense.
Very
if you're going to go to your feet, or to the ground, which is oftentimes a bad idea, you got to do it outside the box.
You better go outside the box, and you better, from that position, you better connect.
What hustle there from Long, who's able to keep his foot on it even when he's fouled.
What a great play earlier by Craven. great control, fancy feet, and then after a lot of people after
fancy feet?
fancy feet.
Are we talking cat food? I'm hungry.
I don't think you're hungry for that.
Oh,
I mean, you could be. That'd be weird.
shout out to my cat Shaggy.
Yeah. Meow, I guess. Don't call. All right. Kind of went through his back there.
Chapala Street with the whistle, some boos from the supporters. It's right in front of the main home support section. And look here now at the replay. I mean, he comes
right
through the back of him. You're
Yep,
going to
you
get
bet.
called on that every time. He doesn't even chip away at him. He just
Yeah, it was-
accepts
all right,
it
I
that
got
he
you,
was
sorry.
he was caught out there. Andy Craven with a word now to Darwin Jones. They're trying to work out a plan here, it looks like, but you'd love to see your guys with the confidence to keep talking still when they're out there. Gavin over the ball now for a free kick. Blair Gavin, a midfielder, had his first assist in the last game against Real Monarchs. There's another opportunity, and just over the head of Belmar.
Yeah, T2's
he's right
looking
there.
real dangerous on these set pieces. Might be something adjustment we might have to make at the half to look at that because
There with Craven telling everyone, slow it down.
Yep.
Take a second. A little too much there. Rossi's trying a little too hard perhaps to make something happen without getting some passing going. For a minute there, you saw S2 having some more passing opportunities, drawing some players across the field. Right now, perhaps more worried about getting a goal and some trying to make big plays happen rather than get it done in small.
it would be nice to see us, and we're nearing the half, so maybe now, hey, take some risks.
Yeah. If you could go into halftime even.
Sure. Oh, if you go in even, you're feeling great about yourself because you only have a minute or an extra time to do it. So
I'm interested to see how Coach Hendrickson will handle the halftime talk. A little to no one there from Rossi. How he'll
Good idea,
handle
though.
it because he's kind of a soft-spoken dude, so I would hate to see him when he's mad.
yeah, he seems like a guy you don't really want to tick off because he looks like one of those kind of sleeping giant type.
He's the guy I want to
where-
find at the bar and be like, let's have a beer, dude. Not like,
and
don't
you're
poke that
relaxing.
bear.
Yeah, and he's real nice and he's humble and he's soft spoken, and then you kind of kick the bee's nest a little bit and you get an angry Ezra, and that's.
Here we are in the 45th minute. Here we'll find out if there's any extra stoppage time at the goal. You got to figure there'll be at least a minute
Yeah,
as
maybe
things
two
wrap up in the
sounds about
first
right.
half of the third match of the season for Seattle Sounders FC2 and the fourth match of the season there for Timbers 2 as they have a game in hand. Little breeze here blowing our notes around. This is exciting.
I need that. Don't go away. Yeah, I think to this point, Craven's looked really well, really good.
Yeah. Out wide, and Fatau just can't get there in time.
I need to see Rossi on the ball more.
And we've come to the end of regular time here. It's
1 minute of extra time.
1 minute
stop
extra. Sorry, John, I cut you off there.
No worries. I think I'd like to see Rossi, and we'll talk about this during the half, but Rossi needs to be more involved in this game.
As he runs up to try and to interfere with Gleason a little
do what
bit.
you got to do, I mean, he's a little bit more withdrawn. He's kind of playing like that mid or kind of like a false striker situation. You're kind of like the recessed striker. Maybe maybe move him back into the mid or throw him wide and put Craven there. Do something to get Rossi a little bit more action.
And T2 is going to be looking to do something to get Belmar on that ball to try and increase their lead in the second half. They've got to be aware of that. The flag stays down on the wide side. On the near side, rather, excuse me. Oh, almost an own goal there. Swing, a bit of a miss there from Anthony Manning, it looked like. Leading to a corner, and if they hustle, they'll be able to get this in just in time. Probably the last
Should
play
be the
of the
last
half.
play of the first half. Let's see if we can get this in. I would be a shame if it's a rebound and they blow the whistle. I always hate that. The play finish,
Over the ball, Rossi.
It's in.
Oh, and it's off of the head. It looked like I couldn't tell, was that
Sanyang?
Sanyang? Amadou Sanyang with an attempt there, and the referee blows for the end of the first half. 45 minutes done, 45 and change to go here at Starfire Stadium, Tukwila, Washington, as it gets chilly and we see the players coming off the field. They're going to be in for a little bit of a talk at the halftime to get them. They stayed motivated though. They stayed like they kept it together.
We're not anywhere near out of this match. It's not like one of those you're walking into the half going, we got to fix a lot of things here. This is much more of okay, settle down, take a breath. We see what they do.
It'll be excellent here. We're going to take a break and come back and go over some of the keys and what's going to happen, what we expect to see from both teams in the second half.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to the first annual Scarfie Awards.
And the award for Best Worst Dramatic Performance goes to this timber. Bunch of flopping, tree-hugging.
Sounders FC, award yourself the full 90. Attend the show, soundersfc.com. Welcome back to the first annual Scarfie Awards.
And the award for Best Run goes to Brad Evans. Oh, sorry, Brad. Looks like you're offside. I'm going to have to take that back. Boo! Boo!
Sounders FC, award yourself the full 90. Attend the show, soundersfc.com. To the first annual Scarfie Awards.
And the award for Best Defense goes to Chad Marshall.
Thanks, Ross. But I got to give this to Lamar, because the best defense is a good offense.
Thanks, Chad. But actually, the best offense is a good defense, so I got to give this to Leo.
Thanks, Lamar. Bye.
Leo.
Sounders FC, award yourself the full 90. Attend the show, soundersfc.com.
Welcome back to Starfire Stadium as the Seattle Sounders FC2 versus Portland Timbers 2 are at halftime. A 1-0 game with Portland on top. John Manley, I'm Gregor. Excellent first half of soccer. It was interesting to see, and some of the things that happened, including a goal that was set up. What did you see initially? How did you think the game started to develop?
Well, we had talked early on about the defense and the composure and what the plan was, and I thought we did a pretty good job on Correa's side of the pitch. On the near side, there was a little bit more space, and I think that played into Portland's hands a lot, where they did a better job of crossing the ball and getting on the empty side of the field. And, you know, I wouldn't say we're fortunate that they didn't put one in the net, because there hasn't been that many opportunities, but that's where a lot of it has been coming from. It's from that little area. And then they converted, and they've looked real dangerous on set pieces, of course, the goal coming in the 30th minute.
That's tough, man. It's tough because they're doing kind of what they said they would, which is to come down to the corners, what we expected from them. And the defense has handled it pretty well. There's been a few opportunities where you're kind of heart and mouth a little bit, but the S2 defense has been able to contain these attacks that have happened. Like you say, though, when there is a set piece, that's when we get into we see a little bit of trouble for the defense there. We actually have a look at the goal that was scored in the 38th minute. It was Delbridge off of a set piece here. You see the over the ball and a kick into the middle here. And really changing directions. I mean, he wasn't marked up closely enough, perhaps.
It's poor marking. He's on the back end, easy as you like, on the backside.
He got away from Aaron Long there, and there was nothing that Charlie Lyon could do about it. I mean, that's a textbook goal. If you're Vidovic for T2, you're like, hey, great job. That's exactly what we're looking for.
You run your four guys through the middle, and then you have someone on the back to slot right through. It was just exactly what happened. Easy as you like. I mean, there's nothing Lyon can do at that point. It's going in. And
it was the first time in the season that we saw Sounders FC2 go down in a match. So it's interesting to see how they'll respond to that, how they'll react.
Yeah, well, it'll be very interesting, because this is the first time this team has faced adversity, and, you know, we're so young. On top of that, it's our first year of existence. It's not like we can look back to, last year, or, now the chips are against us, and let's see how they can rally and regroup. We'll see.
There's no frame of reference for what to do with this situation so far.
Much like me and you doing a halftime show at a soccer match.
Again, thank you to the Seattle Sounders for having us out here. Yeah. The organization is great, and reaching into the community and letting us have our part off air and on our own radio to be able to help drive this, to have this many people come out, and to have the other two teams, which have been phenomenal so far. The defensive composure has been a thing that has helped us. How did you feel that T2 played on defense throughout this?
I thought T2 played well. I think it was more it was more on us than it is on them, as far as keeping us out of trouble. I thought Craven had a really good first half, made some good moves towards the end of the half there with his fancy move. That was great. I mean, and we might need more of that. It seems like we're not doing a very good job of connecting. Now, again, that's the first half. We'll see what happens. We got 45 minutes to go, and there's plenty more opportunities for us to score. Again, I think I would like to see Rossi on the ball more. I would like to see Craven, maybe Rossi goes a little farther out and Craven comes a little bit more in, because he seems at this point to be the most lively S2 player we have, and the more opportunities you can have to have him, and he's so good at curling off players and finding space, which I think there is space to be had. I think that's where we might have a chance in the second half.
And the defense for T2 did not look infallible. It looked like on some set pieces as well. We had a few different opportunities for the Sounders the Sounders to be able to make it to try and score a goal, especially on the near side here. Watching a ball sail down again from Craven, a couple opportunities off of headers and stuff, and one just over the top and across the bar. So you don't see a totally impenetrable defense for T2, but they have kept the ball out of the back of the net. So a couple different chances for Gleason too to make some stops.
Yeah, I think you saw in the first 20-25 minutes, you saw S2 playing that high line, pushing Portland back, and then T2 kind of started to find their space, and they got into the flow and started working those channels better, and we had to pull back. And once we started pulling back, it seemed like we were about 2 passes off. A lot of one-touch, two-touch turnovers.
There's a lot of long balls too from Sounders to S2 as the ball would come over the top, and maybe those don't connect. It's a little windy out. Maybe you see the ball on the ground a little bit more, and maybe some taking some more time on the ball to think it through before just launching it down and hoping someone will get on.
There's plenty of room. There's plenty of room in the midfield. We've seen it. Correa has made 2 or 3 runs where he's 20 yards untouched, unmarked.
Where Amadou can kind of also pull a guy, and yeah, he's able to.
And you know, and he has to be careful. He'll pull a guy out of position, and he can't jump back into the play. He kind of has to cover a little bit.
Sure.
But there's plenty of space there. I would love to see either Rossi or Craven try to sneak in, or maybe do like like both of them kind of crisscross each other, and make themselves available after Correa does all the work to get to into the last third. Give him an option. Play to him.
Now, there was a couple different times where we had to see the trainer come onto the field.
Sure.
And when it gets cold out like this, I always worry in the second half that people will have a hard time warming up. We saw a few different instances where somebody would take a knock and have to sit down, including a big stamp on the foot and maybe a little contact from knee to knee that you don't want to see on a cold day like this, and guys that are really working their butts off to try and especially for S2 to try and come back in the match like this.
And especially a defensive player that is very important to us, Lang. Let's take a look at his injury. Let's see if we can see exactly where he took the knock. I think it was on the top of his foot.
I think you're right, man.
And that's got to not feel good.
Because he hits the brakes right here.
Right there, right on his left foot, right on the top of it.
That's something that's going to look real ugly the next day. We talked about getting a kick in the back of the ankle or something like that. Getting your foot stamped on is going to be something that's going to leave a little bit of mark, especially in these thin, light boots to get these guys flying down the field. They're all really finely tuned, and they're hustling to be able to stop like that, but then also get stomped on.
And we have 2 matches next week, so let's hope that it's nothing serious. He stayed in the game, so hopefully it's just a knock.
Absolutely able to come on.
He'll be sore, but he'll be fine.
We haven't seen the goals that we've seen in previous matches, which is actually kind of excellent to watch it be more of a struggle out there rather than something that gets away, because the worst case scenario for one team is to be down by a bunch of goals. Just the one goal that we've seen so far, I think that there's opportunities that people figure out how to connect the dots a little bit more for both teams. We haven't seen Belmar for T2 yet be able to connect with anything and to make any opportunities.
Yeah, Belmar's been relatively quiet, which as S2 supporters, you're fine with.
Right.
If you're T2, I think you're in that locker room right now going, okay, how can we get him the ball? Now, that said, getting him the ball in the scoring position really comes down to, I don't want to say all he has to do, but the way that they play and strategize. He's just got to be there at the end, as opposed to a guy like Delmar Jones. You're trying to find him and get him on a run or get him streaking through. It's not so much he's not as reliant on service, it seems, to this point.
Here we see the players coming back onto the field again. You got to stay warm. You got to figure out how to loosen up. Look at the trainers in their big heavy jackets of these guys out in their shorts and short sleeves. Only a couple there were in the long sleeves, so you got to figure that it's going to be real tough, especially on someone like Charlie Lyon, who hasn't seen a lot of play, and he's had to stay fresh and stay focused. I guess the cold air would probably help you in that case.
Yeah, you see Long out there right now. He looks like he's fine. He's warming up. He's getting ready to get back in there. Maybe a sub. I think you probably look to see how he comes out and responds instantly to the game. Again, on the wing. It's important. That's where they're coming at. So if you see his pace affected by any stretch, I would probably look to see him come out. Maybe find a sub. We've experimented both matches. We've had different back lines, so it's not like we're thin in that scenario. There's room to be had. There's players out there that can come in and fill that position. Maybe that happens.
All right, we're about to get back underway here. Starfire Field, your home of Seattle Sounders FC2, and the main club practices here. Seattle Sounders on some of the back fields there. They get the grass, they get the plush.
Yeah, what a great, this is one of those things where I know it's ours, so we think that it's the best, but boy, oh boy, what an amazing complex. I mean, how cool is it that you walk in and you have to walk around some U12 games? There's games going on.
And the skill you see.
Yeah, youth football going on. I mean, the best goal I've seen today came on the U12s playing. Yeah. An outside foot rocket from about 12 yards out by like a 12-year-old, and it was incredible.
You also think about in like Olympic competitions and things like that. We were talking to a buddy that says, he's an English guy that says, your country produces some of the best athletes in the world. This just hasn't been our sport. I'm excited in this half, John, to see Correa here on the near side and see what he can do teaming up with Duncan McCormick here, Captain Crunch, the two of them being able to link up. Plus down on the other side here for T2, Rundell Winchester has got some speed. He can turn on the jet. jets and really get cooking. So it'll be exciting to see what he can do on the near side. And Belmar starting off here just a little bit off center, obviously, because he can't be in the center circle. But I want to see if where he'll actually he'll post up for the remainder of the match.
Yeah, I think second half storyline is definitely to continue to keep Belmar off the ball.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. Much as Darwin Jones has often been contained by T2. We're underway for the second half, 45 to go here in Tukwila, Washington, just south of Seattle and pretty far north of Portland. Across the field already, things moving quickly. Andy Craven taking a look, slowing down a little bit, having a thought, out wide. Dropping back. Amadou Sanyang.
Nice start here. Possession. Take your time, find people, there it is.
Correa with a touch. This is what you were asking for. Rossi having a thought on something. Booming it across, changing the field. Just a little too much off the toe there, and a little collision it looks like from far away here. Darwin Jones, the best of by Delbridge there. It's exciting to see who's going to respond after the half.
Absolutely, and so far...
Winchester so fast, and he just got the best of two defenders, both left side. He got the best of Duncan McCormick. Oh, don't worry, though.
That is the second time he's made a real long run. He's tall and lanky, but boy, he's quick.
Ockford and his sort of mohawk, it looks like there, was able to contain that. High across the side there, Andy Craven doing exactly what you want to see.
Take him down, that's a penalty. Give it to him, give it.
And the ref calls for
spot.
penalty. The crowd goes crazy for it. Chippewa Street has called for a penalty.
Oh, you can argue all you want. That's happened.
There is some mouthing off going on from players. Blair Gavin's coming over to have a word.
He's not going to change his mind.
Quick look at the replay here to see if that's what happened. Off the chest.
Great touch off the
beautiful
chest.
Control. Andy Craven just, look at that. You can't pull his arm. You can't push him off balance like that and throw him to the ground. You're going to get called for that every time.
It's not the hardest foul, but again,
at that
you
speed,
get in the box.
Yeah.
You got to be real careful.
Pablo Rossi is stepping up over the ball here, bouncing it about a bazillion times here before he takes a look at it. I wonder what goes through the mind of a guy and what he's going to do. You got to think that you got to try and put it into a corner, get it as far away from Gleason as possible. Number 90 goalkeeper Jake Gleason for T2 is going to be really challenged here, especially with the talent of somebody like Pablo Rossi.
Slot this in, score in the 3rd minute of the second half, draw it even, and now you have momentum. This is a huge kick.
You'd hate to see something cute happen here, like just go for put some power behind it and score this goal. But Rossi's got a lot of talent. You never know what's going to go down.
I mean, if he wants to do an Andrea Pirlo, that's fine. As long as it goes in.
1-0 in the 48th minute. Here's the kick from Rossi.
And
up
we're even.
Top corner, and we're even at Starfire Field. 1-1 for Sounders FC2.
And we're even.
Portland Timbers 2. It's that quick. We're not even to the 50th minute yet. A celebration, a dance. It looks like they're getting into it. Everyone's doing a dance here. A full squad, hugs all around. You can tell there's already chemistry between these guys. Here's the replay off of the kick. He goes with power, top left corner.
Great shot.
I think he was listening.
Yeah, finds the upper 90, and keeper got it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you
beat the guy there.
Hey, what did we say? We need Rossi to get into this game.
And here it is, right away. Now, S2 have leveled the playing field. You got to imagine they're going to keep their foot on the gas and try and take some momentum here and build a little bit of a lead. But with anytime you got a Beasler and you got a Belmar out there, you can always find a little bit of trouble.
Yeah,
so.
You can see Rossi's fired up now. He's ready. That might be a huge turning point. Not just because evening of the score, but again, you get momentum now, and now Portland has to react.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like a heavyweight fight. You know, you get you punch and you counter punch, and now they got knocked. And let's see what they can do.
And you see an immediate error, and I wonder if the wind is actually messing with things on this far side or on this near side because of that. Here we go down the side. Blair Gavin tries to cross it into the middle. A clearance that got the job done, at least from Nick Miele. And there you see Belmar on the ball. You don't want to see that in the box. You want to stay on your feet and not go to the ground. No problem now. Charlie Line here with a goal kick to bring it back for S2.
You know, there's an art to playing offside traps and whatnot, but the way T2 seems to attack, man, I'm just getting as far back as I can and keeping everything in front of me, and
you can't let a guy get any room because it could end up a mess. It's the same problem though with Belmar. Our guys, the Sounders S2 has done a good job of keeping him contained and not letting him get a chance to wind up or do anything fancy. A little pull in there between both players there. And
looks to be off us or off of Portland, but I guess they get the throw.
Pay to take the throw.
Referee clearly biased.
If you ask any home supporter,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you'll get out of them. Over the top, Ockford with the header.
There you go.
Controlled
Settle.
down. Frano to Correa. How wide? Settling now for
Not a mistake.
Kane.
Oh, you
he
bet.
got the best of him there. You
That
got to watch
should
out for a
draw
card.
a card.
He goes
You got to
to the
expect
pocket.
the card to be drawn here. You bet. You bet.
And the pocket goes referee. Chapalo Street shows him yellow for the challenger. It's a heavy one.
There was no attempt to do any sort of defending
Yeah, right.
at that point. That was just run through him.
It's a bit cynical. Look at the replay.
I wouldn't even call it a. I mean, that's not even a professional foul. That's just.
He went
plowed
right through
into
the
a
back
guy.
of him. That's unfortunate.
You know, that's sloppy. That's sloppy football.
That's his. He's got 2 starts previously, all the way from New Zealand, a Kiwi there.
Well, it's not.
What
you
a
know,
fact.
New Zealand rules football or something. I mean, or rugby, I guess you would say. He's been watching too many All Blacks matches or something.
So we hear that Frano might be a guy to take some kicks there, but so far a majority, if not all, have been taken by Rossi today. You like that kind of leadership shown in a player for S2 like that?
I mean,
The
I
confidence.
think, I think that was one of the things that they looked at. It's kind of a newly discovered thing. So it was kind of the talk of the practice this week is that, oh, hey, Frano can do this. He's pretty good. But at the end of the day, I think we have yet to see it fully in this match. But if you've watched the first 2, Rossi's incredible with the ball.
Yeah.
And anytime you can put him on the ball, I think you take advantage of that and give him the ball.
He's a real number 10 type player. He's the guy that's going to create a bunch of opportunities when he's given some time in the middle.
Yeah.
But if you let him have it, he's going to wind up and put that sucker in. So
Yeah.
he's going to be real dangerous, and you got to think that the defense for T2 is really watching out for that type of player.
Yeah, they've done a good job kind of corralling him. For as much as we're saying he needs to get back into the game, I mean, give credit to Portland for taking him out of it as well.
Absolutely.
That
here with
goal
the
certainly
throw.
seemed to have woke up.
The supporter section here on the near side, the flags are flying. Impossible to see around, but that's what you sign up for when you support at a soccer match like that. Amadou Sanyang with a great touch to get it out of danger, but not completely out of the way yet. A couple extra touches. That leaves it wide open for Duncan McCormick. Oh, and he just could have
missed.
had a touch, but a wonderful idea to try and get things moving. Amadou Sanyang again. So far, Gavin has just been all over it. He's kind of come alive after the half here. He's one of the T2 players to watch out for. Getting a real mouthful there with the ref.
It's good. It looks like we're getting a little chippy, and I like to see that.
Pablo Rossi with
Passion,
a
there it
touch.
is.
Look at that. It's a creative move, but Delbridge, the goal scorer for T2, gets a foot on it. I love when I say a defender was the goal scorer. That's a fun, maybe it's not the greatest stat for a forward or a
Sure,
striker, but
sure.
it's always good when one of the tall guys in the back does a good job.
Well, I mean, on set pieces, you bring those guys up, and they're normally the tallest guys on the pitch, so they're your target men in a set piece scenario.
Oh, to be one of the guys that's 5'7", guarding a guy that is 6'5", or something like that.
Well, Greg, I know something about being 5'7".
I know something about being 6'5".
For the record, I'm 5'9", so let's not short myself here. But
There it is across, and Andy Craven is back to cover. He's got a great soccer sense. He's all in the right
Too much.
places. Some of the VIP fans there woken up there by a nice,
we got a touch
nice
to a
kick over the
corner.
top.
so now it's danger time again. Set piece.
Blair Gaffin coming over. He's so far started the half.
There's nobody on the
first.
back end with this. Look it out wide. Pay is wide open there because now he's being covered. But for a second there, that was not looking good.
And look at it, it came right to the exactly what you were talking about. Pay with a touch. Amadou gets a foot on it and goes out for another T2 corner.
Which is fine. Regroup, rally, find your marks, and clear.
It's great to see some of the Sounders S2 guys that go between the first team and the second team that are out traveling this week. We got Christian Roldan and Cover and Mansoray, who are all traveling with the team this week. We won't see them out here today, but that's great news, and that's exactly what the system at the USL is designed for. Cleared there off of the corner. Still hanging around, though. This is where you don't want to see it get to a guy like Belmar or to Rondell Winchester. That's going to be a real problem.
There you go. Clear it away. Clear the box. Get people out of the box.
There's an international player for you right there. Correa is a Colombian international and gets the job done exactly like you want a defender to do it. That guy's going to be seeing some minutes of the top team soon.
Especially as we are looking for that back left on the first team.
S2 here in the 55th minute. Just a little too much.
I believe there's a touch there, so we get that ball right back.
Ball back to Green. Oh, look at that. That's creative play right there from Aaron Long. Back to Rossi.
I mean, you can see it between Craven and Rossi. I mean, there's a little bit of, it was a misplay there, but they're talking, they're working, and they're kind of feeling each other out.
There's a lot of good communication going on between S2. I haven't seen the jabbering going on as much as we watch some of the guys trying to stay warm out there for T2. Jake Gleason back here for a goal kick. As we're now in the 56th minute, I'd like to see some. I'd like to see something, some creativity happen from one of these teams, where we see something real fancy happen here. It's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of long passing. Let's see a little bit of little footwork here.
I'd like to see a nice 5, 6, 7 minute spell of us on the ball.
Take it away, Taylor Pay. Oh, some defense there from Amadou Sanyang. Everyone's squabbling over which way the throw is going to go. Only the referee gets to decide that with his assistant. You can yell all you want. Throw in now.
I'm always
for
intrigued
S2.
at how the referee 25 yards down the sideline with 4 guys swiping at it.
Right.
It's incredible.
If it was a T2 player, I would suspect Cyborg.
Yeah, right.
T2 with an opportunity here now, taking it down wide. You got to hope that Miele here can stay with Belmar. He's a real threat in the box. See what he can do if he's out wide. He's coming back in now to try and set up play here.
Ooh, dangerous ball. That was a heck of a shot.
Charlie Lyon hasn't had a lot to do today. Just the 1 goal scored earlier in the first half off of a play that he had no chance of stopping, a header from a set piece. You got to see these T2 players are dangerous in the set pieces. Now starting to look like they can get things working maybe a little more creatively in the second half as they attack from left to right.
Well, and that should be where the space comes if S2 does their job shutting down the wings. Now you should start to see some of their midfielders kind of slot in 25, 30 yards out. I don't know if you want them taking pulls from that far away, but
yeah, right. You never know. Maybe take a hit.
Sure.
Nick Miele gets a little fumbled there, takes 1 extra touch. It doesn't quite get the quality that you'd like to see, but does clear it from danger.
Pitch playing real slow today too, and I think that's really helped T2 when they fire these long balls down the field. They seem to die in about the last 10, 12 yards.
Amadou Sanyang with a great intervention there. And,
take a look at McCormick, man. He was wide open. Again, look for these diagonal through balls. They're wide open.
Look how much space we have here,
right?
Right near screen here to the right. Duncan McCormick coming back slowly after having a bit of a challenge there that didn't get him into any trouble.
Well, Greg, you run 60 yards for nothing, and see how quickly you
Fair move.
I mean, run 60 yards at any point and see how long you respond, but
I'll stick to running 5Ks or something a little bit more, a little slower. Here we are now in the 59th minute of Seattle Sounders S2 taking on T2 Starfire Field. The corner kick coming in, Charlie Lyon all over it.
Great job
An
on
opportunity to counter. He then, cooler heads prevail, and he hangs out.
Yeah, take your time, refocus, structure it up, get back into shape.
A big ball down the left-hand side here. Can't get it in time to Darwin Jones. Follow at USL on Twitter to become a league insider. Join club conversations and have a chance at exclusive giveaways. That's at USL on Twitter.
Looks like we got ourselves our first sub of the game.
Substitution.
O'Neal Fisher about to take the field.
Coming in for Darwin Jones, an interesting substitution. So far, T2 has shut down Darwin Jones. Maybe a little change in tactic here.
Well, look, you're at the 60th minute now. O'Neal Fisher's played great for the most part. Let's Get somebody else with that. See what happens.
It's interesting because you would a guy like Darwin Jones would be hoping that he would have had an awesome game, but it looks like T2 did their homework to contain him today.
And we'll see if let's see if O'Neal picked up any tricks while he was up on the first team against Dallas a few weeks
Another
ago.
great example of how the USL is developing talent to get them into the first team so they see time playing. Maybe if it's just for an injury to fill in, or maybe it's because they demonstrate some real skill down here and getting some minutes on the pitch. Sometimes maybe you got an injury and you come down here to play a little bit to get it up there. It's an excellent opportunity for guys. And then a brilliant play from Frano. Frano out to Craven. He just can't get it. It's okay, though. Amadou Sanyang sees him.
Brilliant.
Sees Duncan McCormick out left. McCormick now trying to cross before it goes out. Oh, he just can't get enough on it, unfortunately.
Took a little too heavy of a touch there, and I think he just had to, by the time he got to the ball, it's going out, or he's just taking a rip and seeing where it goes, unfortunately.
Correa, look at that footwork. He's dancing back and forth, hard to follow. Rossi just takes a boot to cross field here to the other side of play.
Open space.
Drops it back. O'Neal Fisher, first touch of the match. He's taking it all the way back, but it's okay. Bad pass, though, unfortunately. Rossi can't do anything with it. But
nice job
again,
by
that you sang as the kind of the engine of the midfield there. Amadou Sanyang is able to get a foot on it. It doesn't develop into anything, but it keeps a breakaway from happening for T2.
He's done a great job so far, just patrolling that midfield and shutting down, for the most part, everything that's run through. Now, that said, Portland, again, running the wings more than anything. But, hey, you have to. If he's going to shut down the middle, you know.
Absolutely. Jake Leeson with a goal kick here. Fans now trying to rally their guys to try and take a lead here at Starfire Field.
Greg, did you ever play sports?
I played soccer for a large majority of my life and a little bit of basketball. 6'5" guy, hated basketball, loved guitar.
Yeah, sure. It's always weird to me. I was speaking for myself, but it's crazy how some players can't hear any of it.
Oh, yeah, I would hear everything.
Oh, boy.
This is an opportunity for Winchester. Rundell.
Great job just kicking that out.
There's a lot of smart play in opportunities like that for S2. Someone's really getting them to think out there, and there's just something you want to see for your guys that are developing.
Absolutely.
For as many times as we see the ball just booted downfield to try and get somewhere, it's also in critical times that the defense, which has been so good and so hard to beat, it has not been leaky at all. There's been so many opportunities. As we look at that, look at the support there. All ages, people singing, there's drums and the scarves flying. It's like being at a first team match. I'm sure a lot of these same people have the tickets to both.
And after, what, a 25-mile march to the match? That's really impressive that they still have the stamina.
Oh, here we go as O'Neal Fisher is wide open down the right-hand side. He gets possession of the ball, takes a look, tries to find someone, and just has a hit. Andy Craven is going to have kittens after that.
Hey, you know, you just got into the field. You might as well take a shot. Why not?
After a beautiful setup, he's the one that started it. He probably feels that's his play.
Hey, we got the throw-in. You know?
I'm going to name one of the kittens Pikachu.
If he'd have scored, he'd have named it Fisher. Maybe next time.
Shout out to my other cat, Peanut.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Greg, I can't go
Here
for
we go,
that,
change
man.
in play. Winchester down on the wide. He's down wide again. There's just no support there for him. And again, Correa makes things difficult. Taylor Pay bringing it down the right-hand side.
Correa's going to sleep well tonight. He's been working really hard. His work rate has been exceptional this entire match.
I feel like he could probably play 3 more matches after this. That guy looks like his fitness is not going to be in question.
He might beg to differ, but...
Got a substitution on the far side of the field here for T2. Coming off is Nick Beasler. Coming out of the game, it looks like it's Stephen Evans, a midfielder.
Now stepping in for Portland is number 85, Stephen Evans.
Little stoppage and play. I want to take you're out taking pictures of this. You're participating. You're watching at home. Always make sure you use the hashtag #OwnThe2. It's S2, so we want you to own the 2. Hey, if you're watching the Portland game from Portland,
hey, why not?
Own the 2 while you're at it also.
Yeah, right. Your 2, you can own our 2. It's
Right
all
now
the
they're
same.
just tweeting awful things at us.
Good thing I can't read, Greg.
We can't give you a Twitter there, man. Winchester is so fast down the side. He's a real tall guy, too. I feel like, though, if he's well contained like that, he's going to have a hard time. He has pretty good, tricky footwork, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to beat you.
Stay between him
and the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Make him. Don't give him a clear view to make that cross.
Excellent clearance there by Ockford. Taylor Pay with a throw in here on the near side.
Game kind of bogging down a little bit for the last couple of minutes. We'll see if a little spark here.
There he is, though. He immediately shows me up and has some excellent footwork to get out of there. The fans down on the end of by the goal there. They are now awake. No coffee necessary.
Yeah, he has been a real good player this entire match. I'm impressed.
Couple big matches coming up for S2 at Tulsa Roughnecks FC on the 16th, 18th at OKC Energy FC, and on the 26th, Whitecaps FC. We'll have the first away match for a Cascadia rivalry.
Interesting.
That's a lot of traveling they have to do.
Yeah,
for the rest of
they
April.
go on the road for a long time, and it'll be interesting to see how they adapt to life on the road.
Looks like they'll be back here at Starfire Field as we get O'Neal Fisher causing lots of problems there on the right-hand side. Look how fast he is covering back. He's got a lot of promise, and coming off the bench with some fresh legs is going to be a real big help here. Amadou Samyang, excuse me. Look at that, he turns, there's no call there. There was nothing that the defender could do to get out of the way.
If you say
Andy
so,
Craven is not going to be taken
There you
lightly,
go, take
though.
it right back.
Gets right up.
Come on now.
And the foul is called. You could tell that was done aggressively.
Foul call by the linesman. That's the interesting call there.
On the far side, the linesman makes the call.
I'd like to get another look at that. That did not look too vicious. I mean, aggressive certainly, but
I think the crowd
aggressive?
is telling the ref he's number one. I think that's what I see right there. Here's
like.
Craven. He's going 110 miles an hour, hits the brakes. He does collect him pretty well, and Delbridge is going to be upset about that one. He's going to feel it tomorrow.
That was that guilty innocent look that you give when you go like you get caught with your hand in the cookies. You're like, no, I didn't. Yeah, all right, I did.
I'll be over here.
I didn't do. Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Excellent hustle, though. After getting beaten rather than staying down, he shows he's got the hustle. That's a guy who wants to make it up.
You know, I think that's the unfortunate thing is I don't know if that would have been called had that been just within the run of play, but that's a 10-yard build-up to that. He's just getting up after getting knocked down, and then he goes barreling into a guy. I think if it was in a different situation where that previous action didn't just happen, they might have let that go.
Ronell Winchester is upset with the challenge that was delivered by Duncan McCormick there on the near side.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, it's Cascadia match. Top of the table.
Starting to get a little bit scrappier out there, which you love to see. You want everyone to stay safe and everything, but at the same time, when the passion starts flowing a little bit, you oftentimes see some amazing things come from guys.
Absolutely.
Andy Craven is losing his mind out there, yelling it to make sure. Oh, the service just a little long for Rossi, who stays with it. He's collected, makes the most of it. Not going to get a call, gets back up. Blair Gavin here now in possession, holds up, waits for his team to collect and reorganize.
And this is all right. Make them work.
Only leaving two back, our T2. Look how far up they're pressed right now. Taylor Pay stays up a little bit, too. Correa with the clearance.
It's going to roll. Throw-in.
It's a throw-in. Cool. Interested to see what other changes that Ezra Hendrickson will make here for the Sounders S2 to see if he will go for a home win or if he'll try and contain. You got to think he's going to try and go, but he is a defensive-minded coach,
He's
so
a
you never know.
defensive-minded coach. I mean, we've already subbed up front.
Ball goes out for a S2 throw-in.
I mean, it depends, too, who we have on the bench. I know it's a lot of academy kids, so...
Might be a good opportunity for a guy to really shine off the bench with a new name.
That said, big match for the lead in the league.
Absolutely.
Bitter rivalry. It's great to be up here, but is it too much too soon?
If it were to end like it is right now in the 69th minute, we would have the Timbers atop by 1 point for a draw. But with the game in hand for S2, and it's very early in the season, you don't want to judge things until at least the 5th or 6th game to see how things are going. And again, this is a development league trying to get guys ready for the top team. You know, John, it was interesting what Ezra Hendrickson told us about what the philosophy is with how we run all our different systems with the teams when we spoke with them yesterday.
Yeah, we were curious to see how much involvement Siggy had, and you know, with our roster being so fluid, I think that was the biggest question. Is that's got to be real challenging to really not know who's on your team. I mean, we came here on Wednesday to talk to, or it was
Doesn't matter.
late in the week. I mean, it was late in the week. It was not early. It was 2 days before the match or whatever. And he's still going, well, I don't know who's going to be here. And you're like, that's crazy.
But it's interesting to know that they're all working with a similar system.
Well, and that's what we'd asked him, like, well, how does that work? How do you build your team? And he goes, you know,
that is cleared. I'll go up into the supporter
really
sections right there.
And he had said that the Sounder way, they try to play from the academy through S2 up to the first team. They try to play the same basic principles.
With a similar philosophy.
Sure, yeah, like we're a team that, you know, like
Here comes
T2
Andy
is a team
Craven
that
across
runs
the middle.
wings.
He's got a real head of steam here with support out to the left. Duncan McCormick just
little
can't get
too
his
much.
foot on it.
I think Craven needs to settle down a little bit. He's maybe a little too fired up right now. Take a breath. I mean, you're so good. You're right there. You're 6 inches off that pass.
Ockford could put. He gets a foot into it though. Disrupts Winchester's momentum. Now you got Belmar, a guy whose name we haven't called this half since the very first few minutes. A big boot down to Charlie Lyon will easily collect it and contain things here for S2. T2 has lost a little bit of their momentum in the last few minutes.
Well, they're still getting the crosses in, but there's less people in the box when they're coming in, and it's almost.
Well, you wonder, is it a strategy change to pick up a point on the road and stay at the top, or is it guys running out of steam because they just played a couple nights ago against Real Monarchs to a 1-1 draw?
I'm sure fatigue would have something to do with it. I mean, it's an aggressive style. They have not let their foot off the gas this entire match. 71 minutes in.
So it was interesting, though, because back to what we were talking about with Ezra, he was saying that whenever guys come up through whatever system, you can get on the field. If you get called up, he doesn't know which guys he's going to lose when they travel the next day. If you get called up, you already kind of know how things work with it. And it's not, I mean, it's not like that's not a practical idea that everyone should probably be using, but it is interesting to see that ability to interchange guys like that. Well, there's a lot of hope for these guys to be able to go up.
And that does nothing but great things for Sounders. First team, S2. It's great for the national team. You're starting to get younger players playing in structured systems, doing things, I don't want to use this the wrong way, but the right way. Proper coaching, proper training.
Oh, that's
great
a
ball,
big cross over the top. Frano's there with his right foot, takes a look, gets it back into Craven. Oh, Craven can't get it done. Duncan McCormick's just a step too far behind. He cannot connect with it. And rather than losing the momentum there, they're able to turn it around with a nice step up from Nick Yelly. Oh, that's a
dangerous play there. I think he's making the most of this.
But I also think that he will walk away seeing some sort of card here, likely yellow.
Look at this, Toma on the ground.
I didn't see what player it was, but immediately walking over with an apology is Frano. Going to the pocket. Referee Chapalo Street shows him yellow.
Boy, depending on where he kicked him there, we might be fortunate with the yellow here. Let's see if he does get him. High foot, but
it's a high boot.
It looks like he got him in the face, but it didn't. Yellow card justified. Nothing more than that.
Hopefully he's okay. He'll come off the field here after seeing a trainer. A good break and play here for some teams, especially as the Sounders had a real big head of momentum there for a minute. S2.
Yeah, we're starting to move a little bit harder, and you can certainly see Craven is really getting into the action, and we'll see if that bears fruit. And again, that cross field through ball worked again.
Yeah.
We just got to put the finishing touches on it.
They're really cutting people up that way.
It's amazing. It's been every game, and it's such a tricky pass. It's an impressive pass. I mean, it's a hard thing to pull off, which is why it is available, because you can't exactly, It's not like you have, Ozzie Alonso throwing him in there. I mean, these are still developing players.
It was great to run into one of the main dudes for Sounder at Heart out here. I hear that their message board is going, having a lot of fun watching the game today. That's awesome. Dave, shout out to him for coming by and saying hi at halftime. Excellent to see the support that goes all levels. That's a high boot from Rundell Winchester, and he keeps going with it on Correa. No call.
I thought we were going to get a little bit of
a turn of play here, though, too. You got to watch out with Ockford chasing down Belmar to the far corner. Time for everyone to recollect. Don't let any space go between O'Neal Fisher's back there calling the shots in the defense.
He's come in ready to play. There's no doubt about that.
That's the type of thing where here's a look at the replay. Yeah, the coming across it. That is a high boot, but it doesn't catch him in the face.
Well,
I guess.
I thought we were just going to get an advantage and then pull it back, but certainly not to seem to be the case. Boy, those corners are dangerous.
And it would have been right in front of the linesman there as well.
Referee might have been shielded.
Here's the goal scorer, Delbridge. Out on the far side. Fatau. A great touch. Gets it out wide to O'Neal Fisher, who gets collected from behind. You're going to, if he doesn't go to the pocket, I'll be surprised. There it is, the extra whistle of substitution.
Call that one of those professional fouls.
Now subbing in for S2 to earn his crest is number 66, Kudos Lawal.
Kudos Lawal coming on for S2. Duncan McCormick on the left side here will be coming out and taking a seat. He's put in a hell of a shift today.
I thought he's played real well.
He and Correa have really been in line there and been in sync together. It'll be interesting to see if Kudos can work well with Correa now.
Second week in a row, subbed in the 75th minute.
Good job from the ball kids out here on the side.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
USL really turning out some great support today. This is a Cascadia rivalry between T2 and S2. The seat, I'm just looking out the window here, the seat of Ziggy Schmidt and Brian Smetzer, unfortunately not filled today as they're traveling with the first team down to
Greg, they
LA.
have a match.
Yeah, LA tomorrow, 4 p.m. for Sounders FC first team. O'Neal Fisher with the touch here, way out wide on the side.
Be nice to put them down before they get their full squad.
Kudos with his first touch. Lawal bringing it back inside. Has a hit from 40 yards. That was just buzzing over the top of the pipe there. He really put a little mustard on that one.
He's come out ready to play. There's no doubt about that. That was a nice rip.
It was interesting to watch him in practice. He kind of hung out by himself doing his own thing. What you see immediately when he comes out, that he didn't get into communication with Correa yet or anything, but as soon as he gets on the ball, you're like, whoa, this kid's got some potential here.
Well, and that's what you like to see, too. A guy come on the field, instantly get a touch, and get into the game, get involved right away.
Bouncing around off some heads here, O'Neal Fisher with those bright boots. You can see him from a mile away. Drops it back, along with the boot up front. All over, Andy Craven stays on his feet, gets the through ball from Rossi. Just not enough on there. Lawal's in place. Turns it back in, has an opportunity, gets blocked there at the last second by goal scorer Delbridge. T2 really being made to put some thought into this now by Lawal coming on. Don't know what to do with him. The appropriate substitution at the right time, it seems. As one guy's a little gassed, you bring in this other kid that's got a lot of talent.
You certainly seem 2 for 2 at this point on substitutes. O'Neal Fisher comes on, makes an immediate impact, and now you have Lawal doing the same thing.
As the train comes by, making a lot of noise here at Starfire Field, it is
almost as much as ECS.
Dark and cold. I can actually think I hear ECS a little bit more. I think you're right there, John. That's, it's pretty exciting. That's one of the neat things about a park like this. You still are just at a park, and that train will be yelling at the Mariners that aren't here before you know it down the street.
It's got such a...
There's such an impact on it, just like for the setting.
There's there's a romance to it, you know. It's small but big. You've got the train, you got the trees, you know. You're kind of like.
But then you look around, you got 13 fields in total here, so it's pretty neat.
You know, I don't mean to make this comparison, but I can't think of a better way to describe it. You know, minor league baseball stadiums are always
fun,
and So much character in the stadiums.
Take, for instance, Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, where the Tacoma Rainiers play. It's a different speed that you're getting into. It's a lot more fun. The proper Timbers team, the Timbers first team, not the T2's not
Right.
proper, but the Timbers first team, the stadium that they played at was Geldwin at the time. I don't know if it still is, if it's a different name now. But it was so fun when they opened it up, a renovation to a minor league ballpark, and you get there.
Ball.
Craven down on the far side, gets a touch, crosses it over Lawal. It's over his head. He'll turn on the afterburners and try and catch up to it here on the far side. A back heel keeps it in. Frano with a touch. Oh, Frano goes down, no call. Gets right back up and gets himself involved in the play, makes it tough for the defender to clear.
Angry at himself that he couldn't get to that ball.
Look at that, Ockford's way out wide, making a play happen. He's got to get back into place. Correa's covering for him. Now we got a break on the left side. Offside, the flag goes up.
You bet.
But that stadium in Portland is such an electric atmosphere. You're right on top of the pitch. And I don't know what the prices are like right now, but the beer prices were awesome when I was there. So it's a fun place to go and support, or to go and be one of the heckling traveling supporters too. It's a really good rivalry we have between the clubs, and a place like this only makes it better.
Absolutely.
The few people that are in the far corner that came out here to support today, as we get Rossi out wide, he takes a hit.
Off the post.
Jake Gleason really had to go full stretch there to try and do something with that.
All he needs is one touch. All he needs is one touch.
Let's look at a replay right here. This is going to be... You can't ever go to sleep with him. Off the post.
From that angle. It's an amazing shot.
John, I'm personally excited to see a couple Lobos and New Mexico guys out there. Chris Miele is awesome.
That's right.
As I'm originally from New Mexico, it's great to hear the name Lobos and soccer and Sounders all together in the same sentence. It's pretty exciting.
Both of us have family out there as well, so it's
this is not good for Nick Miele. He's going to have to prove his worth right there.
Great save.
Charlie Lyon comes to his defense, keeps it together. Belmar is hard to silence, and there he was, shut down. Man, this is exciting. It's going to go right down to the end of the 81st minute. We're already seeing a lot of big attempts here.
Yeah, easily the best attempt for Belmar this entire game, and great job by Lyon to keep that out of the back of the net.
A big goal kick from Charlie Lyon comes down. Andy Craven with the touch. He cannot get it together there. A lot to do when you got three guys on you. Back to Gleason, who's going to take a touch, think about it. Rossi doesn't
Craven has become quite the agitator the second half, and he's fired up, and he's giving them fits back there. Let's hope we can get one more goal here. I think there's still a chance to put one in the net.
I want to see some more service to Kudos Lawal here out, number 66, excuse me, out here on the near side.
Yeah, you bet. Well, and you know, it makes it interesting for T2 as well. Now that we have fresh guys on the wings, how hard do you want to press out there? Because now if we decide to counter, we're going to have quite a few guys ready to go.
We have an injury here as a collision between Amadou Sanyang and it looks like, is that Blair? Blair Gavin, who gets up limping and hobbling it off, trying to work it off, but Sanyang looks like he came up the worse for wear there.
I think they both went for a ball, both kicked at it, and both came up with a leg.
The crowd comes to his support. Was it?
No, they're just chanting for Fisher. That's Sanyang that's down.
Okay, I'm making sure because I hear the crowd is chanting for Fisher. Maybe they're just trying to get him fired up, or perhaps they've gotten it wrong there, John.
I mean, maybe we did, but I mean, it could happen. I doubt it, but it could happen. Oh, that's why they pay us the big bucks. We were right.
He gets up and looks like he's going to walk it off.
Two real pros.
You never like to see anyone for either team go down, and so it's nice that he can walk this one off.
Well, let's see if he can get back on. We've got one sub left. We're in the 84th minute. Let's hope he can hobble off.
Yeah, 84th minute,
get back on the pitch.
One apiece. S2 versus T2. The Seattle Sounders USL team versus the Portland Timbers USL team. Own the two. Hashtag own the two to be used on Twitter when you're talking about the match tonight or in the future. You'll be able to stream this again anytime you want on YouTube for the coming days. There it is, a big play into the box, and nothing comes of it for T2.
While you're on Twitter, follow @USL on Twitter to become a league insider. You can join club conversations and have a chance at exclusive giveaways. That's on Twitter @USL.
A big week. Again, we talked about it earlier, but it's nice to see a development league like this and some people that have come up through the organization, like a DeAndre Yedlin, who took to the field today, to the pitch.
Sure, who's the next one?
For Tottenham Hotspur, where he was signed. He moved in January. Kudus Lawal comes up the worst for wear there on that last play. But he moved in January, Charlie Lyon being hustled there. Moved in January to the Tottenham Hotspurs in North London and got his debut today. A great play. O'Neal Fisher puts in a ton of extra work there to move it across the field. Frano sees the opportunity.
Great job to stay on sides.
Lawal gets a foot on it. No one's there, unfortunately. Oh, but Andy Craven comes in. He's still hustling to Delbridge. Has just been so good in central
that is a
defense
shame.
for them. Oh, Rossi, get up. All right. Jake Gleason gets up, but that's who did it right there.
I'll tell you what, it's a shame that we couldn't get anybody on the end of that cross, because that thing, the keeper just let it drop, and it was right in the middle, dead center.
Specifically when you see something like last week, I think it was Fisher that got the cross in and it hit the bar, and you have an Andy Craven there waiting to put a goal in for the third or fourth there. Third of four, I believe, is what I'm trying to say.
I thought that's what you're trying to say.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, telepathy doesn't work through microphones, Greg.
Oh, well, I'm working on the technology.
One of us got it.
What does he think?
I can't go for that, Greg.
So anyway, with DeAndre, okay, we got a substitution here. The Seattle Sounders. Coming off the field is Andres Correa. He's put in a hell of a we called his name a ton of times today as he was coming to defensively help out with the squad.
Yeah, Winchester really really ran at him consistently this entire match, and he did a great job just hanging back and playing good defense.
Here we are in the 86th minute of the S2 versus T2 matchup. Anderson has come on. He was actually only signed yesterday.
Wow.
He got signed yesterday. Thank you. He got signed yesterday to the squad and is making his debut today to try and get 5 or 6 minutes here on the pitch.
When we got to the stadium, he wasn't even on the team sheet that we had been looking at.
Right. Here we go, Lawal with another touch. He's been dynamite since he's come on. O'Neal now, right here in front of us. He switched sides. It looks like maybe they're going to play him down the left. Look at that. If he stayed on side, he could have a chance at a touch. Just too heavy for Rossi.
Flag down, but great timing. If that ball sits, if that ball sits, or that goalie's not quite aggressive enough.
And that's the type of thing you can see here in kind of a development situation. So anyway, I was saying that seeing that Tottenham have started. They're not started, but they've put DeAndre Yedlin in is a great sign for this type of development here.
Absolutely.
Heard it at the donut store today, and a guy called Chris was talking about how excited he was to see an American player, and that's cool to see across Seattle. As a big play inside, just off the foot of the defender.
Good defense.
Another
so now here we go. Now
though.
We're starting to jump in now.
Frano's been so great. Craven sees him over the top.
What a ball.
Touch.
What a ball. What a ball.
Right there. That's a goal. Giuliano Frano, the Canadian, puts one into the goal. Takes the Sounders S2 up an advantage 2-1 over Portland Timbers.
Spectacular play. Spectacular play.
The flags are waving.
Craven, unbelievable.
Get those
what
scarves
service.
flying in the supporter section as the celebration happens right in front of the crowd. Here's the replay. We get just the cheekiest little touch and another one to match it.
Great touch. Two great touches right there.
One
more
time. With his right
Just
foot.
in time.
Was it? Did I not hear that he was the guy with the left foot?
A cultured one at that. His right foot's not bad either.
The perfect timing now for S2 as they take the lead in the 88th minute.
I guess we found out how they were going to respond to adversity, huh?
Absolutely.
How about that?
It's exciting to see that. This is the first game of the 3 games that they've played where they've been down a goal, and now we find them up 1. A big run down at the outside, though. The T2 has not given up. Hearing the crowd go crazy over the PA announcement of Giuliano Frano's goal.
Well, if that turns out to be the late winner, what quality that was, huh?
That's what you want to see from that. Some sneaky play in the middle there. Again, Andy Craven involved in a goal-scoring opportunity.
He's so good at just finding, he's there when he needs to be there. That was close. We've been saying it all game. Like, he's the guy that at the end of the day, you want him at the end of a play.
Right.
Hey, Ross Flesher could use that if he wants to. That's great.
It was great to find out about some of the guys that played tonight. Some local podcasting that we get into the Sonar feed, to hear them talk to a guy like Pablo Rossi. He doesn't quite speak the English so well yet.
Well, it was Rossi and Craven.
To have those two guys and the bond that they're building as teammates now early in the season.
Well, and again, you talk about soccer culture in Seattle. How cool is it that we have a podcast that discusses
USL
S2,
soccer?
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's amazing.
There
So
we
shout
go.
out to those guys, too. I'm trying to get in as many of these as I can for all our...
Yeah, look, man. This is the first time we've done this, and we had to reach and look far and wide for any information we could. So I appreciate the Sonar cast because I was digging in on that, getting some tidbits.
And Sounders S2 have been super appreciative of all the attention that's coming their way as well. So all the support that you're giving right now, streaming online, listen to the two dummies talk about it. A yellow card issued there.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Still down on the right side.
Yeah, maybe you take a second here. 90th minute.
We're looking here just at the end of regulation play. We're going to find out here how much stoppage time we get. A couple goals scored in the second half, some substitutions. You'll be expecting a few minutes here.
There's always a point when this happens where you know they're milking it, but then they stay down like 10 seconds longer than that, and you start to get real nervous. Oh, wait, is he really hurt?
Oh, no, please. I haven't made out who that is yet.
Is that Oxford?
No, it looks like it's we'll see right here on a replay.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it's Aaron Long.
Yeah.
Oh, man, right through him. 2 minutes of added time have been announced here at Starfire
I think
Stadium.
he took an elbow right in the back of the ribs. That's going to hurt. Take
We'll
your
have
time.
2 extra minutes
Hey,
and
2
probably
minutes.
a little bit extra
take 2
here
minutes.
as he comes off the field. That's tough to be collected sort of from behind there, get like really plowed through.
Okay.
Plowing season's not yet.
2 minutes to go. Possess the ball.
Let's see some smart play here. It looks like we're going to have one final substitution. Chew up a little extra time here. Oh, they're going to make him wait.
Refs added 2 minutes of extra time.
Looks like it's Ramos getting ready to come on.
I couldn't see the board.
Oh, Ramos Lorenzo.
I think that's
Or
the other
maybe
way.
that-
Lorenzo Ramos. A little lull there at the end of the game. That's all right.
I mean, I made it to stoppage time, right? That's got to count for something.
Oh, some difficult play down the side, but some great hustle and defense to keep the T2 out of the area. Looks like we're going to now finally have the substitution coming on the far side of the pitch. As he starts seeing Ezra Hendrickson pacing back and forth in his area now. A lot of the guys standing up. It's chilly out there for one.
I think we're all looking at our watches at this point.
Not exactly sure what the holdup is here. I guess they're not telling someone that they're coming out. Nope, they're not going to let the. Are they not going to let the substitution happen?
Oh, here they go.
All right.
Yellow card issued with Timbers 2 player number 77, Runsdale Winchester.
Here we go at the final moments here of the match. This has got to be exciting for an academy guy like Lorenzo Ramos to come on.
Number 52, Lorenzo
Yeah, see the game out.
Ramos.
Coming on in midfield, gets to say he made a start here. It's an academy kid coming up through here. Such a young team. It's so fun to see it. And he gets a touch.
Let's see what he
right
can
out
do.
the gate.
Let's see what he can do with
See if he
it.
can have a hit. Get it to Kudus Lawal. Kudos. Just a little too much, but a great opportunity
That
for a
really
kid
would have
right
been
off the
something.
bench.
A little chippy out there on the back end there, huh?
It looks like there's going to be some attention needed here. Oh, this late in the game, you don't want to see that, especially from a team that's down. That's when you're starting to deal with
Yeah,
either
you're
cramp
not
or
standing
real
down for
energy
nothing,
here.
I don't think, at this point.
Oh, that's unfortunate to see that. Looks like Andy Thomas is actually in some pretty serious pain here.
I didn't see what happened. I was following the ball, and they kind of both went down in a heap.
Did he pull off, perhaps?
And
Or
right,
pull up?
and right away, the ref had called, the line judge had called the foul. So
Interesting. We'll get another look at it here in just a moment, I believe. There might not have been a camera in the right place at the right time.
he's looking.
Looks like he's getting up. It might be okay.
He's getting up, but he's
this is gonna be, we got one look at it here. Let's see if we can Oh, he just got collected. It was just.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he called for a foul, though. That
Sure,
was
you bet.
interesting.
I think he got stepped right on his. I think he might have gotten his leg clipped a little bit.
Poor guy. He's still down on the sideline. That's not any way that you want to end a match, especially down one.
Yeah, especially
Go
when
home.
you're losing.
What a touch there in the midfield. And
there it
that'll
is.
do it. We're at full time, plus a little bit here. Starfire Stadium, Seattle Sounders FC 2-2, and Portland Timbers 2-1.
Thank goodness. I thought we were going to be the Black Cat for a second there, but
And you never want that coming out,
No.
especially with my proclamation before the match. Never lived that one
yeah, when
down.
I go home and ask my friends, how did I do? And the first words is, well, they lost.
Commentating curse there.
Yeah, right.
We see a shot here of ECS as they celebrate the win, and it's going to be I'm sure there'll be a couple extra beers had by some tonight.
You might say that.
If you are going to participate, make sure you get home safely, please. We don't want to see anyone hurt after something as awesome as a win like this.
Great second half. What a great
To
second
turn
half.
it around has been an exciting time. Down by 1 going into the half. It was a tough pill to swallow when you have to go to the second half down by 1. We get a look at it here. There we go. It was a cross up the middle to Del Bridge, off the head on a free kick. You'll see another look, and
There's your
beats
second
Charlie
goal.
Lyon. It's hard to do anything there if you're Charlie Lyon. Just some poor defending where it wasn't quite marked up tight enough.
It was early in the game, and then, of course, right out of the chute, second half, Rossi gets the PK, gets right back involved in the game, gets us fired up. Momentum shifts to our side, and we really, once it shifted our side, we held serve pretty well.
And here's Andy Craven with just a tricky little kick over the top, just floats one over, and there you have Frano putting it away.
Andy Craven, a point in every match so far.
Man, that's incredible that he's had that impact.
And he might just have made SportsCenter. That was an incredible play.
Absolutely, I'll give him top 10 coverage for that. So, John, what did you see today when you were looking for some key points here? We were talking about defensively, where we're going to have to do something.
Yeah, I think the game ended, the second half played out as kind of we expected it to be played out. We said we got to get Craven on the ball. We said we got to get Rossi more touches. Both of those things happened. We found 2 goals.
And it was interesting how we contained Belmar. He wasn't able to go by and get the job done that he's been and at the same time, also Darwin Jones was contained.
Yeah, to be fair, both teams shut down the major scorers, but at the end of the day, S2 finds the net twice in the second half, rebounds, deals to the diversity, comes back on top, and there we go.
It's
Top of the
stuff
table.
from Starfire Stadium. It's the 3rd match of the season for Seattle Sounders FC2, the 4th for Portland 2, and guess who's on top of those 2 teams? Seattle Sounders SC2. Thanks for joining us. My name is Gregor, joined by John Manley in the booth. I hope you have an excellent evening and you get to celebrate a little bit more with an S2 victory.
Goodbye now.
Wow.